over politics. Performance over politics. Performance over politics. It's POP, performance over politics. DDP said fuck a cap and arena tricks. I'm trying to build a dynasty out of heap of shit. McCaskey money rolling in, but that don't mean shit to die-hard fans. No matter where they move the stadium in Chicagoland, you can't escape the aftermath. You can't win no stats and blog boy math. The battle starts in the trenches. You can't fix Nagy's offense with 35 wrenches. Up in the nosebleeds, you smell the play called stenches. The Sledge Fields drop jewels like Osco. Tell Virginia sell the team wholesale. Costco. Performance over politics. Performance over politics.
P.O.P. Pop that ass and play the best. You can have a ton of stats, but still be winless. Nagy's still in this. Millhouse influence. McDonald's is hiring. McCaskey's grimace. Zero accountability. The wise cause regression. Performance is the plaza. The Bears stay at the West End. Guessing. Competition bringing out the best in anything you do but pace Bears faint obsession. Wrong personnel. This team never play the best. Performance over politics, the Bear opposite. Virginia still smiling. Millhouse praising culture. George talking leaders, reading script on his Osa. Where the bogus pace, hiding behind the wise.
Performance over politics.
Performance over politics.
Performance over politics.
Where the bogus pace, hiding behind the wise.
Mama, I love you. P.O.P. Only that. Right these are good pills for a baby for life.
Where the bogus pace, hiding behind the wise.
Performance over politics.
Draft Dr. Phil and the Smartest Man.
Keeping it 100.
Chicago's trading up.
100.
Yes! What? Oh my God. Here it is! Just reported.
The tape never lies.
Other people drop off, but we still keep rocking.
You'll never know how good your football team's going to be until you play with maximum effort.
Keeping it 100.
Open competition over the North and never give it back.
Smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man and Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east to west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're all stuck like the Jew and now and later. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Jimmy. What's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the unfair. The tape never lies. The truth, you see, we laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maly. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Trick Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the Smartest Man.
Justin Fields gets outside the pocket, puts that ball perfectly where only Mooney can get it.
1 point.
2 feet.
Draft Dr. Phil and the Smartest Man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the Smartest Man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Birds never lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not going to do that. That's Claudio's thing. I'm the only one here. Can you guys believe it? The Bears are all hurt. Everybody at TTNL is late, except for the smartest man. I was going to give you the best yo ever, but I'm not going to step on Claudio's toes. Props to Claudio. He's at cheerleading competition tonight with his daughter doing that thing. And here I am holding it down. TTNL Studios waiting for everybody to show up. Everybody's doing the kid thing. DDP's doing the football practice thing. And everybody forgot that we have a show. 8:30 p.m. East. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to TTNL, Keeping It 100. It's going to be a good show for you tonight. We're going to have our guy on from the desert tonight, Brett Maly, going to do some over-unders with us with this Chicago Bears football team. That's usually a lot of fun. Hopefully, I think I saw Brett in the chat room a little bit earlier, so I know he's ready to go and talk some football. Get going. Week 3 preseason this weekend. Looking forward to it. QB1 going to play. He better play. I don't care what the situation looks like in front of him. Got to get him some legitimate reps. Get these guys going. It's too long to wait. Can't have 3 passes going into week 1 with a critical game. It's got to be playoff type atmosphere from the fans, from the players, from the coaches. Can't start off 0-1 in Soldier Field versus Lambeau or versus Green Bay. Look at this. Somebody coming into the green room and look at this guy. Take a fucking lap, kid. Showing up late. You missed the best.
On the coach.
You missed the best yo ever. You missed the best yo ever.
Did I?
Oh yeah. No, I did a baby yo, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna embarrass Claude like that. I'm not gonna do it perfect out the gate. So man,
I was hustling off the field, Shane.
I was wondering. I
only gave them 1 sprint because they had such a good practice.
I did the roll call in the production DM, and Cherie was going to be late. Jackal was going to be late. Ivan was going to be late. Claudio's at a cheerleading competition.
Jackal's going to show up?
Yeah.
That's no.
Bratcher said he might be back by 2026. You know how that goes. PJ Walker's late over the middle, picked off. I was the only one here on time, man. But good to have you in here. And I haven't even shared with you the little screen brush app that I was telling you about. Yeah. I finally
figured it out.
I finally conquered that, so we're good to go with that. I'm talking to StreamYard and got that all figured out, so we're good to go there. I'll show you what we got to do. But week 3, my man, Bears.
Week 3 of the preseason.
Yeah.
Preseason. There's a lot of drama, a lot of debates. I'm sorry, I was a little late. We're on the practice field under the lights. I lost the key. We had the best practice. You know how that goes. Shout out to the dads that helped out today holding the bags. It was full-on family out there, Shane. That's TTNL.
They're all going to be rubbing Ben Gay on those shoulders tonight. Walking into work all sore tomorrow.
I think our left tackle, Tate Ferguson, might be able to start for the Bears right now.
That is a good football name. I'm not going to lie. Tate Ferguson. Definitely better than Turd Ferguson, right? That's an offensive guard's name.
Oh, my God.
We could use him there, too, though.
I got to shout out my wife to begin the show because she's full-on coach's wife right now.
That's good.
Dinner, the practice, football, like 24/7 at this house, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
Tape. Collisions going on.
Right.
Had to come in and tell me he's going to shower. The quarterback, number 1.
QB1.
Tate. I have 2 Tates on our team.
Tate Ferguson and Tate
Atoshin. Yeah.
They both spelled the same?
They both are spelled the same. Tate.
Nice.
Now we need a Tate on the Bears, I think. So hopefully we get. Remember, there was David Tate.
Yeah.
Former safety.
Do you remember Tate George from the University of Connecticut?
First Clemson from the corner.
Tate
I was
George.
in senior year of high school, I think. Tate George.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to the Knicks, right? He played for the Knicks.
I don't remember. I mean, I can look it up real quick, but
Flus.
did he go to the Nets?
Nets. He probably was the Nets.
Yeah. Yep. Nets. But yeah, let's get into it, man. There's so much
Chicago Bears talk now.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
We start where we were talking.
Yeah, or where do you want to go?
I think you start with the backup quarterback. I don't think Bears have had this glorious debate in a long time. You're either on Team Phil and Shane, or you're on some other land of misfit toys.
Yeah, and I think it's critical that we say that. It just I understand. I would carry 3.
Me too.
I would carry
Especially
3
because of the rule anyway.
But Bagent is QB2
without a doubt.
100%.
It's performance over politics. It's everything this team stands for. You know, it's everything about football. It's like PJ Walker has played himself off the roster. You can't just say, well, he's a veteran, he's been here, blah, blah, blah. It's what have you done now? That's where the Chicago Bears have been epic failures. There's his contract. Oh, we drafted him. Let's give him another year. Go with what you look back, even with Josh McCown and Jay Cutler. The hot hand is where you got to go. And right now we haven't seen, and I said this on BHL with you, and tip of my hat to you. I know you, me, and my dad during the combine were hyped up with Bagent, Stetson Bennett, DTR, and we were down on Will Levis, right? And we were, these are the things this kid Bagent had a lot, and you were pining for him at the draft. You got to draft. We were all about drafting a developmental quarterback,
and they just have not. And that's the thing, you can't undersell the fact that Getsy was around him Senior Bowl week.
Exactly.
Cunningham polls were down there, and that's a big part of it. You get to see his interactions. We talked about all of that. This kid this isn't Nathan Enderle. This isn't David Fales. David Fales stuck around the league for a little while. This kid, I'm not just talking. I know he hasn't had a ton of passes. He's obviously going to get more reps this week, but this kid's demeanor, the way that he takes control, he's unflappable. They talked to Darnell Mooney, who had an earpiece in, and he's like, just to listen to him call out the plays and make the checks. He's like, it's very, very impressive to listen to. And that's players know before anybody, Phil. That's the thing. And when we say that I
talked to your boy Greg Brack, I said the same thing. The players know, the coaches know, and it's always been a shame on you. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
that's fine.
You're 100% right. The players know. We know. I mean, if it sparked this debate because of the eyeball test for people, then there is a situation. And I've said this. I talked to former Bears quarterback Eric Kramer this week, and he and I were talking about it. And I use him because he was the last quarterback I remember just throwing the ball on time accurately for the Chicago Bears. Say what you want about him. I've seen comments on YouTube when I say that. I've followed this team since I was in 3rd grade. To watch the Chicago Bears develop quarterbacks has been absent, let alone a backup quarterback or a young one. Kyle Orton was a guy that we saw drafted like in the 4th or 5th round that you saw talent, right, Shane? You saw the ability to jump off the tape. He had accuracy, he made good decisions, but he wasn't even near the athlete Bayesian is. He wasn't near the accuracy, the throwing mechanics that this kid has. And Shane, you have the statistical throws in college. but I will remind people, like TTNL, if you're a patron, we've been talking about this guy since December and January. And you got to give these guys a chance. The roll of the dice is there. You never know until they get in those situations where they're live action. I don't care what a dude is doing in 7-on-7 drills and this practice and that practice. Coach is telling you, throw. Just throw. Throw. Get it out of your hand. Throw. It's when the lights come on, you're in control of the huddle. Everything else is gravy. And to Shane's point, to see him articulate his thoughts in front of the camera, it's a hell of a lot to be a quarterback, number one. It's the most difficult position to play in all of sport.
And we're not and that's the thing. And like I see this comment from Vaughn, dude, have one good drive and y'all want to nail him as the next Brock Purdy. Nobody here has said that. When you see somebody with the talent, with the demeanor, with the tools that he have, you keep him on your roster and you develop him moving forward. Who knows? This is the way that you have to look at things. If you go out and Justin Fields, let's just say he's lost for the season.
God forbid.
Yes, your season is most likely over with. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to put PJ Walker in there and let him play and lead you to 2 wins, 3 wins? No, you put Tyson Bagent in there. You roll with him. You let him develop on the fly, and you see what you have with him. Nobody is saying that if he gets put on waivers that another team is going to claim him and make him QB1. The new rules are you can have 3 quarterbacks on your roster and use one of them for the game day roster of 46, and they're not going to count against you. I'm not sure if everybody knows. Go around the NFL and look at the quarterback depth charts. You're telling me that there's not a team out there that's not going to be interested in a kid like this? Look what San Francisco has been going through. Sam Darnold just was named QB2. Trey Lance is QB3 and on his way out of there. Teams are in flux at quarterback. Phil, we talked about it a little bit today on the phone. Philadelphia, Tanner McKee is at a position he may overtake Marcus Mariota for QB2 in Philly, and they're Super Bowl contenders, but we can't do it here as a 3-win team. Having a rookie quarterback, it makes people are overthinking it. PJ Walker, I don't want to say that it's based on he's got experience. So does Nathan Peterman. That's the point. 3 touchdowns, 11 interceptions in his career is what PJ Walker has in the NFL. That's fine. We're not going to base everything off stats, but let's not act like this is a guy that's been around, that he's been there, done that. No, he's bounced around. Yes, the experience is infinitely more than what Tyson Bagent has had. You keep this kid on your roster. This isn't a 5th or a 6th wide receiver. This isn't a 4th or a 5th linebacker or a 4th or a 5th defensive tackle or an 8th or 9th offensive lineman. This is a quarterback. They're different. Keep this kid here. You have him cost controlled for the next few years. Keep him, develop him, and see what happens. The Bears never do this, ever. I don't give a shit about the $2 million guaranteed for PJ Walker. If you want to keep him on the roster. It is what it is. He's QB3. He's an emergency quarterback. That's fine.
I totally agree. And a QB2 that's the best line to develop. Look at Aaron Rodgers. He sat behind Brett Favre as QB2, and he was developed there. So I want to get that shit out of the way where people just don't understand that, oh, he's only got 1 drive, like that comment. I'm sure there'll be more. Here's my coaching view of this. It's hard to find talent that's going to translate. And there's a lot of shoe salesmen that scout and coach in the NFL. So fuck you, trolls. And I know this from family that have coached in the NFL and have seen it myself. And all of you could poo-poo all you want, but there is a bias when a player comes from a smaller school. He's already got a label on, but can he do it? Thus, they invite these guys to the Senior Bowl to try to get a look against competition of that nature that's on that level, right? So this young football player was able to get to a point where he has shown up and shown out and done the things that make a difference. When I was growing up, I remember Kurt Warner coming in for Trent Green.
My door's open too. I'll take some.
My Tate knocked that over. You don't have to set this up. I'll take care of it. Right here. Thank you. It's a family show. You don't have to. I was hustling. No, but I'm just saying, you're developing these young guys. Kurt Warner was developing. He had to go travel to NFL Europe. He had to go here. Hall of Famer.
Right. And
Tom Brady developed behind Drew Bledsoe. He got his shot. You never know what's going to happen in the game of football. To take the risk of saying, no, we'll cut this guy, or we got to keep the other guy, and put politics in this, that's Ted Phillips and McCaskey way.
It has nothing to do with Bagent being a QB1. It has
not
nothing
at all.
to do with it.
No one on this show
believing in what you see. And that's the thing. And I just scanning over the chat. This isn't something that we just watched Tyson Bagent last week and said, oh, he's got to stay. If you've been a TTNL fan, we talked about Tyson Bagent. We were very interested in Tyson Bagent. Go back to our draft coverage where I was pounding the table for the Bears to draft Tyson Bagent. There's a lot to like there with this kid. This kid's thrown 2,040 passes in his collegiate career. That is why he is so composed. He's seen it. Yes, it's not at the elite level, but that's what it is. Did you know that Northwestern and Maryland both offered him, but his credits wouldn't transfer, and it was very important because he made a promise to his family that he would graduate, and all of his credits wouldn't transfer, so he stayed and didn't transfer to Maryland or to Northwestern, or he would have went there. There's enough there in this kid. There's enough arm talent. There's enough composure. And listening to this kid speak, Phil, he's been a quarterback since he was 6 years old. That's what his father wanted him to be. His father was his coach, so he could put him at quarterback. That's who he is.
It's a great problem to have.
He's not worried about the fucking televisions at Halas Hall. He's not worried about his friggin' water bottle being his binky. None of that. Keep him on the roster. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, then you release him and you let him go and you move on to the next guy.
Who was Taylor Heineke?
Yeah.
Who was Kirk Cousins? He was a fourth-round backup when RG3 was your number one pick. Other team, Mark Brunell, who was he? Other teams have done the formula the correct way. The Bears have a new GM, a new president, and here's this young buck going in there. The only thing I could say to those people, one drive haters, are I agree with you. I'm hating on the coach for not putting him in the second half to give him more reps. What's the story behind that? I would love to know why you as a head coach took him out.
I think you can turn it around and say maybe they know.
Well, that's the thing. And
yeah,
for me, even if I knew, I'm giving that kid reps to get him ready. And that's, I've said this many a time. There's red flags with Flus for me. That was a big one. And this kid, and I hate the ignorant, well, a lot of these guys are going to be working at McDonald's next week. A lot of those guys were playing at the University of Texas, Missouri, Notre Dame, that were on the field that he's playing against. That's all he has control over is who he's going up against. And guess what? You can argue that some of the guys he's playing with will be doing the same thing. They won't make it. It's the most ignorant
and none of this
idiotic,
is going against Justin Fields. That's not what this is about. And this is where Bears fans are blinded because they're not used to it. You're used to going over and putting all of your eggs in Jay Cutler's basket, and then you have fucking Todd Collins
or
behind
Caleb Haney.
Or
Todd Collins. That's Todd Collins.
Yeah, played in the fucking NFC Championship.
3-year-old Todd Collins with his neck. Fucking Mike Glennon played for the Bears.
Yeah.
Did you one time see anything that Mike Glennon did in the NFL that was equivalent to that one drive? What was this dude's name? Vaughn? Is that his name? Vaughn. Dude had one good drive. Vaughn, how many good drives did Mike Glennon have? And Brock Purdy had to prove himself. Now Trey Lance, first-round pick, is going to get traded out of town.
All the snaps that PJ Walker has taken. And listen, at the time, I was a fan of the signing of PJ Walker.
Never hid.
It's on. He's at fault. He's played his way off the roster. In all of the snaps that he's taken in the NFL, he's thrown 3 more touchdowns in the NFL than Tyson Bagent has. 3. Nathan Peterman's thrown 4. So yes, the experience is all that they have over him. That's it. And that's fine. Keep one of them on the roster. I'll be completely honest. Right now, I would keep Peterman over PJ Walker.
It's what have you done now to assess the reality of that? It's, again, performance over politics. You gave PJ a big deal. PJ has played the worst out of all the quarterbacks. So you have to have the balls to say, goodbye, Nathan, you played your way on. You know what that says to the locker room, to everybody else in your organization, that the best players are going to stay and play. That's what you should be doing for this team. Instead, I'm doing that same shit out there with 9 and 10-year-olds, 8 and 9, 10-year-olds. Doing the same. Got to assess it truthfully. Who's going to rise to the occasion when the moment is on them? Nathan Peterman has played better than PJ. I was excited about PJ Walker. Excited. I'm like, here's a guy going to come in here, take this shot, really help hone in a lot of his skills and be in the offense like this. He has not taken the baton. He's fumbled it. You as a GM, a coach, you have a responsibility to develop talent all the time. If you're cheering against Justin Fields, you're doing it wrong. If you're cheering for this kid to not make it, you're doing it wrong, because you cheer for the best to rise to the top for the jersey. And that's where it is. And for me, listen, all I could say about Bagent was what I saw on tape. Footwork, decision-making, arm power, and accuracy and anticipation. All of that the last 2 weeks. There's a play. It's 4th and 7. They decide to go for it. He puts the ball only where Fountain can get to the football. In a critical moment, there's something uncoachable that certain players have that others just don't. They have the ability to have everything slowed down and just track into this embodiment of the quarterback and feel the throw and just put it there. There's no hesitation in their brain. And that's the kind of stuff you want. And this kid has it. And you should be excited about it. No one, not me, for the record, I'm not putting any syrup on Justin Fields has trouble. Oh, I'm saying Bagent's better. No. I'm looking for the very first time the Chicago Bears have a young quarterback behind a starter that can develop into God knows what. And that's the kind of problem I want to have. Because if Justin has a little fire under his fucking ass, then he's going to play even better than he even thinks he can. Because that's what competition should do. And if he cowers and this kid rises to the top, then guess what? You've benefited from it. It's the best always should play. And that's what the Bears have never done. Never. And they've never been in this.
So
ever.
Leo's asking this, and listen, Blue said it's going to be dependent. I'm playing Justin Fields, and I want to, the way that I'm going into it is that he's playing the first half. Mm-hmm. And to me, I'm giving the entire second half to Bajent. Go out there and make some plays. 100%. I don't need to see PJ Walker. I don't need to see Nathan Peterman. You know, if he goes out there and balls out and halfway through the fourth quarter, it's a you know, you're not worried about the final score so much. But yeah, you can pull him off the field then and put in Peterman or Walker or whomever. But there's too much there with this kid at a critical position. But that's the thing. That's the thing. And, you know, I think it was Ryan Cox that brought it up earlier in the chat. I should have highlighted it. Is you have to keep these guys as chips. That's what good teams do. The Philadelphia Eagles traded Kevin Cobb for a second-round draft pick and a guy that was like a top 10 draft pick. The Green Bay Packers had Mark Brunell on their roster at one point. They had Ty Detmer on their roster at the same time. Along with, you have to keep these guys, develop them. Who knows? What if Justin Fields doesn't work out and this kid still plays well? It just gives you another option that you can move forward with. Not saying that he's going to be the guy. There's enough there. I didn't think it was I don't give a shit what his competition level was so much, Phil. When you're watching the tape, you see the tools that the kid has. You see the composure that he plays with. Now, there was times where he did 159 touchdowns.
159 touchdowns. Most ever. He won the Heisman of Division II. He decided to be loyal to his program and stay there and say, you know what? Other players have gone to the NFL from here. They're going to find me. He bet on himself. Now, his agent or somebody could have been pissed off and probably should have. He should have been drafted. But the Bears ended up paying for him. They made him a priority free agent, and you got him here. And listen, when you see, like, it's not hard to see. It baffles me that some people see things so differently. But it's not hard for me to see that the tools that this kid has are on another level than most rookies I've seen. And that is fine.
Everybody likes to look at at Shepherd University in Division II and the level that he came from. Well, at what point? I've seen plenty of players in the preseason go out there and look flustered and not make the right checks, not call, the right protections, anything. This kid, none of it seems too big for him. Just listen to him in the press conference. He's calm. He knows the answer before the question is even asked. And he's very well put together. And for me, it's not even, I don't give a shit how the roster works out. He is on my 53 all day long.
He's the backup quarterback for me, 100 out of 100. Yes, because it just wasn't one drive. It was the first game, too, where I was looking at him, and I'm like, look at this footwork, and look at where he's putting the ball. And that's where you go from that. And listen, I don't play the game. I'm going to hide somebody. You ain't hiding this. This is the reality. I want to believe that Shane's theory of them saying, you know what, this kid's our number 2 and that competition's over, and thus we're going to play Nathan in the second half. That's where I hope that decision came from. For me, I would have played Justin Fields last week, 2 drives. the first team offense would have got those reps, and then the second team would have came in and made a competition, PJ versus him, and he won. And now I'm telling everybody in the locker room and everywhere, TB, great job, PJ. It's going to TB. Next week, you and Nathan Peterman are going to be battling for the third string, and everybody's going to know. And TB, you're playing 2 quarters. And there's no guessing, there's no bullshit, there's no minutia. It's just football, baby. And that's how the great coaches win. They do. They keep it 100. They tell everybody the truth. They tell the media. They shove it right down, fucking throw out a name. Throw out a media member's name. Anybody. Shove it right down there. What's the guy? He's always negative.
Dan Weeder?
Not my boy Dan. The other guy. Jason.
Leisure?
Leisure. Leisure's going to have a tricky
he's not
question.
That he's negative so much.
Not negative.
He likes to go
back the question into the corner. You go straight at Jason Leisure. I want you on the show, Jason. And you just say, yeah, Bayesian earned it. Everything he's done in practice in those games, he's earned it. Boom. End of story. End of drama. Focus on football. And hopefully he continues to shine. But I think it needs to be said. I have no qualms with this kid. And let me just tell you, speaking to a couple players on the team, all they've said is glowing things about his ability to absorb the playbook. Doogie Howser-like when it comes to the playbook. So, listen, was Michael Jordan fucking motivated? Was Tom Brady motivated? Walter Payton, was he motivated? I always look at some of these guys that have so much talent. God gave them everything they have. They decide, in the offseason, I'm going to start an Instagram promotion of what I do. Instead of going in the dark, busting your ass, working on your craft and your body and going after it. Walter Payton ran hills, for God's sake. No one outworked me. No one's going to outwork me, he said. And it showed up on the film. So this kid comes from that. He's cut from that same cloth. His father is the arm wrestling champion or something.
Yeah, it's something crazy. Like, what is, I think, was it like 17 world titles? Like 11 of them are left-handed. And yeah,
it's crazy.
6 of
so
them are
right-handed. This motherfucker is coming from a competitive family, and they have that focus. And listen, sign me up with somebody who has something to prove and the moment isn't too big for them. You gotta love having that kind of problem. And for the first time, we have a backup quarterback that is athletic and accurate, that is right there. And listen, Justin can help him and he can help Justin.
Right. And that's somebody in the chat asked too. What guys, what if he goes out and throws 2 interceptions against Buffalo this weekend? So who cares? I'm not basing it off if he throws a touchdown or if he throws an interception. I've seen enough of his tools that I believe in my staff enough that we can move forward and develop this kid. You can't just, threw a pick, you're done. You can't react like that.
No, you can't.
Who was the wide receiver? Rodney Adams. Do you remember that? Or was it last year, 2 years ago? He went out and blew up in the preseason. Yeah, he had like a 72-yard touchdown. The defender fell, and everybody lost their shit. And the Bears released him and then put him on the practice squad. And they ended up releasing him from the practice squad. And where is he now?
I saw him show up somewhere and made a catch, and that was it. I don't know. I think it was
quarterbacks are different. If you see something in a quarterback, especially on this roster, you have a lot of big decisions coming up.
There's something special there. I'm not hyping this up. The stats match the tape. When that happens, and then you go further and you see the person, there's nowhere to hide. That's an athlete out there. And let me just say there was I think it was an 8-yard out route that he's throwing from the opposite hash, and it's a dime. I'm talking a dime, right? Who was it that caught it? I think it was Webster. It was one of the backup receivers. It was just like
on the rollout you're talking about. Yeah, it was.
You
it
can't
was
put that
Webster.
ball any better. At 6'3", 200, what is he? 15, 218 pounds. Throwing a dime out there. Listen, that's what you want, and it's a great. Thank you, Anthony. Leisure. It's a great thing for the Bears to have this problem. And you know what? With that problem, there's going to be meatheads out there like Colin Cowherd and others that are going to be pining for once Justin has a bad game, then they're going to – that's not what this is about. This is about developing and preparing for the National Football League, the league where they play for pay. At the end of the day, the Chicago Bears have not had a 4,000-yard passer in their history. They have not had a football player throw over 30 touchdowns, I believe. Am I correct there?
Say again.
They have not had a quarterback throw over 30 touchdowns in their history in a
Bears,
season.
No, they've never had a 4,000-yard passer, and they've never had a 30-touchdown passer ever.
So the Chicago Bears have been, pardon my interruption here, Larry, but they've been behind the times when it comes to the quarterback position. Last year, it was Justin's running, and there was a whole process of analyzing that because the offensive line stunk, the defense was putrid, and the wide receivers were what they were. So it was an impossible situation to analyze who he is. So now there's nowhere to hide. And it seems like we can't hide from the injury bug either, Shane. But Justin should take 2 steps forward. He ain't going to be Paul Abdul taking 2 steps back. Ryan Cox missed Thomas Ives.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about Thomas Ives. What do you think of the news that the Bears called JT and Indy? I don't believe it. Do you?
I 100% think that you have to inquire. Yes, I think that they're saying 6 teams. I think doesn't mean that they're going to make an offer. The rumor is that 6 teams have inquired, 2 have made offers. There's reports out there that saying that Philadelphia is the main team to focus on, that they've been the most aggressive going after Taylor. But if you're Ryan,
all those backs.
Oh yeah, but all of those backs aren't. I mean, Penny is a fantastic back, but he's rarely healthy. But
Right.
If you're Chicago, he's 24 years old. I mean, he's younger than Khalil Herbert. You have to call to see what the price tag is. And all of this talk about 2 number 1s or 1 number 1, I just don't think it's going to be that. You 100% call. Now, would you rather move forward with Roshan Johnson and Khalil Herbert, or Roshan and Deontay Foreman, or Roshan and Jonathan Taylor? I would make the phone call. You have to do your due diligence.
I believe you have to do your due diligence as well. I didn't know about the rumors that they are talking now. So also there's a rumor out there, Shane. Is there any truth to it? I saw it in the chat that Cole Kmet was carted off the field. Is that true?
He wasn't. I don't believe he was carted off the field. I think he left the Walter Payton Center on a cart. Because the Walter Payton Center is away from Halas Hall. So
it could have been just a cart ride back to the.
I don't know. Let's not overreact to what it is. Everybody was flipping out about Darnell Wright yesterday, and oh my God, our guys are dropping like flies, and he didn't practice today, but he had a small little, sleeve ankle brace on. There wasn't a walking boot or anything like that. And the Bears are 19 days or whatever it is away from the first game. So we have some time. I get it. I get the angst over it, but you want to get these guys healthy, ready to roll for Green Bay. But the guys that are healthy, get out there and get some quality reps in, and then get out, and then we're ready to go for game week. They have some time.
They got time. I apologize. I have my dinner here, Shane, because I literally.
Do you want me to put up that pass that you're talking about from Bajent on the rollout?
Sure. If you have it. You have the all 22 of it?
I do.
That's amazing. The thing that the Bears continue to have, well, you could put it up. Do you have it?
Yeah, just take the comment up. You have to do it.
Didn't the Bears have a big injury list last year? Yeah, they probably did. And every other team probably has it too. But I don't know what the story is. I've never heard, I'm jumping into another topic while you get this up, but I've never heard of two calves being strained at the same time in my life. Never heard.
Yeah, I don't know if it was, to me it sounds like, I don't know if he was lifting weights or exactly what the logistics of it were, but I heard today some people talking about into October potentially as a return date. But again, 33 career games in the NFL. He's appeared in 19 of those, but he's only played in 50% or more of the snaps in 11 games. 11 out of 33. So when you guys heard me when we were on here with Alex Shapiro, and Alex's eyes bugged out of his head when I said that I was putting Tevin Jenkins on this depth chart in pencil, this is the reason. Part of being on the team is being available. And yes, I know sometimes injuries are out of your control. You get to a certain point, somebody else's name is going to be written in pen, and you're going to be pushed down the depth chart. If you're not reliable, you're not going to play. That's the way that the NFL is.
I love Tevin Jenkins. There's no doubt the talent, but you can't be injured. And you just can't. It's frustrating. And then you start mentally having this handicap you as well, because you start hearing the voices as well of all of the critics, all of the other people.
Is this our live coverage of the 2023 NFL draft?
Yeah, part of it, because we talked about him.
All right, so yeah, you can talk over
it. Words here.
I'll play it. This is the one
so
you're talking about.
You're looking, obviously you're seeing man, so he knows off action, off that zone concept, to be able to square your shoulders and deliver this football with a guy in your face running and chasing you off that boot action. I mean, small thing, but you see how accurate it is? Watch him flick it and look at the arm strength as he tries to square his shoulders, gets it right into the guy's chest, and you move the chains. This kind of stuff you don't see a thinking rookie, we'll say. A guy that is trying to absorb everything and it's going over his head. You don't see them doing things like that. To me, that was just sheer accuracy and athleticism all on the same page. He had a guy in his face running after him, and he's able to square those shoulders, leave his feet, and flick the ball with such velocity and accuracy. It's just what it is. It's just what it is.
Phil, check your phone real quick. I don't know what time you were with our guest, but he sent us a text.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's bring him in. He can talk with us.
Oh, is that our guest? This beautiful young lady? What's up, Cherie?
Hi, people.
You send him the link, Shane, because I obviously didn't. Yep. I apologize. What's up, Cherie?
Hey, Phil. I see you getting your dinner on. What you eating? The fans want to know.
The wife bought me chicken yellow curry Thai food. So I got some Thai here. I got white rice, chicken yellow curry. It's a spicy sweet dish, and it's got white rice in here and healthy, somewhat healthy, probably.
Spicy.
It's got a little kick to it, but it's so delicious. It's got like a pineapple coconut vibe. Mm-hmm. If you've ever
somebody's going to be breaking down that tape later of you shoveling food into your mouth.
I'm sorry, man. I've been going all day.
Look at this Bears fan from Connecticut shoveling food. How
you can't eat Thai food if you're not in Thailand.
So
Chinese food or Asian food of any kind with chopsticks, or are you like me with a fork?
I am.
I use a fork, but I can. Yeah, I can use chopsticks.
I cannot. I've even had the little trainer ones, and no, the
kids struggle with the trainers.
Get it on your finger there, Cherie.
My sons love the trainers. They love it. Yeah, there's this great Thai food spot here in Southington called oh my God, Sweet Mango. That's very good. Joe has had calf extension.
When you asked, has anyone ever broke both calves, like hurt both calves?
I've never seen it in all of my history of coaching, playing. I've never seen that. Yes, so, J Rock, smash the like button.
This is
guys, do us a favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't be a hater. Don't be a little bitch. Get over there, subscribe, smash the like button. Have a quick release on your finger when you smash that, Dwight. Right? We need quick releases.
Kerry Franklin was asking, is the all 22 out? And it is. NFL's got to step up their game. You can't go to the app and bring it up that way unless there is a workaround for it that I've figured out. But if you have, like I have NFL Plus Premium subscription.
Right. So do I.
But I know Ivan's having a little issue getting it brought up on his end, but it is out there for everybody. They had it up. What do they say? 36 to 48 hours after the game, but it was up fairly quick.
It doesn't go on the app.
Yeah, you can't just go and then go to it won't show up immediately. There is a workaround to get to it.
Paul, I apologize. I'm trying to be on a show and I'm starving after being on a practice field.
I think that might be the Paul Martin we know.
Paul's been in the library.
He's in the library.
He already ate everything.
Apple fan. That's got to be.
That's what his name is.
Our boy from back in the day.
Have you had Thai food?
Yeah, I sent you a picture of my Thai food. Remember?
Yes.
When I was in Florida?
Right. Florida. Have you, Cherie? Thai?
I have, but I'm very limited because I'm so scared of spice. So curry, I tend to stay away from.
You got to try the yellow curry with the pineapple in it. So you want to read and go with the chicken. I'm telling you, you'll thank me. Because if it has that pineapple, it's a coconut curry, where Indian food has a different kind of curry taste and Jamaican food has other different, like Thai food is coconut based.
Okay.
So sweet.
And maybe that's why I'm getting, because I know like the Indian style. such an asshole.
I should have taken a bite while that was playing. I totally dropped the ball there.
Got him.
Oh, I'm not afraid of a rookie as a number 2 quarterback at all. Not when this rookie shows me those things on tape. Listen, Justin Fields is developing.
Remember when Trent Green went down?
Yeah, Kurt Warner went in.
You never know. I'm not saying that that's who he's going to be, but crazy shit happens all the time.
Absolutely, totally agree.
Did the Patriots?
I thought Ron gave us a new background for here for three people. Is that
maybe he hasn't uploaded it yet? I don't know.
Does that look good?
We're
too small there.
There's that
There's
one.
There. Leave that one. That one's the best one. Should I stay on the right of the screen to bother everyone for all night?
It's weird.
Why is it so weird for people?
Because we're used to seeing it like this.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're a real fan if that
the experience thing when you're a team that's coming off 3 wins, to me is a non-factor. If Justin Fields goes down, your season is headed for an open volcano anyway. I mean, it's how many wins is PJ Walker or Nathan Peterman going to lead you to on the year? 2 because of defensive score. It's a non-factor for me. It's based off talent.
It's one thing if you're having this back and forth battle and the veteran is just pushing to, then you go with the veteran because of the experience in the NFL. This hasn't even been close. PJ Walker has been epic. Jonathan Quinn level poor. Throwing a pick on his first ever fucking play into double coverage off action. Nathan Peterman has played much better than PJ Walker. Am I surprised? Would I have ever bet that I'd be saying that sentence? No, never. And that's the great thing about football. The tape never lies. So that's where you got to go as a coach. Start changing the culture of the Chicago Bears. I don't care if it's same thing with the goddamn center position. What the fuck are you putting Whitehair back to guard for? That's that same old bullshit.
Well, I was wondering more so because of the hand injury. Let's not forget that Cody Whitehair injured his hand.
When? In the game?
No, in practice. And he left practice. He injured his hand. So
we're going to move him to guard?
Well, if you're snapping the football, I'm not sure exactly
I don't know what his injury is. This is the first time I've heard that his hand is injured.
Oh, yeah. He's had a hand injury. I don't think so, but yeah, it's a right hand injury. So that's the hand that he's snapping with. So that's
okay.
Most likely
he sits out. He doesn't go to left guard. It seems like the same stupid shit that I always see. Like,
yeah, well, I think that they more so want. I think
now he's a backup.
I think they more so want. Well, I think it's something that they believe that he can play with, at guard, but it might affect the snaps. So, and they probably want a guy in there with some experience more so than throw. I mean, I'm not a big believer. Everybody knows I'm not a big believer in Leatherwood ever amounting to anything. Does he have the talent? Yeah, I just don't think he's got the want to discover that. So, I think that that's probably a place that they're going to look on the waiver wire. There's obviously some sort of an issue with Dalton Risner at this point for him to still be out there when there's a lack of talent throughout the NFL on the offensive line. He's, even with his issues, he's only missed 4 games in his career. So that part is important, but I'm not upset about them with the move of Whitehair to to left guard under the circumstances. And like I said, we still have 18, 19 days.
I honestly didn't know about the hand injury, but I still don't move him to guard. If he's got a hand injury, he can't snap, guess what? He's on the fucking bench. And we get another, we develop another guard. Don't we have a guard? Or you sign a guard, develop a guard? Get your centers aligned. It's the constant movement of it just baffles me with this football team. So I tend to disagree. I don't know if his hand is broken. That might be another thing. Then we're going to have to cast it up and he can't snap. Then, yeah, let's move him to guard. And if he could play, get him on the field. But if it's a slight hand injury, I don't know what you're doing. And I'm tired. I'll answer this all the time. I've said it to Shane over the phone, and it's not anything to do with how much I love the guy as a person. But every time Dieter's out there, he just dominates people. And I don't know what Chris Morgan is looking at. Like, why isn't a shot given? Is it the politics? Is it the bull? I don't know what he needs to do, because whether he's playing guard or center, he's thrust in there. I thought he had from everybody I've talked to, he had an amazing week in Indy, then went out there, and he's much better, in my opinion, than with Leatherwood or Carter. And I don't know what Chris Morgan's doing, to be perfectly honest. He is a big question mark for me, and we'll see how this plays itself out. We'll see how it plays itself out. But for me, the offensive line frustration, every time you think you've gotten it, here we go again. We're going to start. But the good thing is what Shane has said for the last few weeks to remind fans is that the Bears are in that number one position.
Take advantage of it.
And you got to take advantage of it there. That should be your focus. Finding some talented, young, offensive interior linemen to help this football team moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't really care what the position. If you have a position and you have the player better than somebody you have at a position that you're deep at, to me, it's pretty simple. You claim them. You let the depth chart work itself out.
Yeah, I hope they continue to use this number one spot to improve the offensive line, an area like you said, Shane. Do you see them maybe making a trade for an offensive lineman?
Who's trading an offensive lineman? I mean, at this point, there's the stupid rumor about Chris Jones that everybody was losing their shit about, the defensive lineman, that, there's a backdoor deal in place until week one, and which is a bunch of bullshit. People just fall for it. But nah, I don't, anybody of any substance. Why would anybody trade anybody? If we're going to trade a young offensive lineman with upside. Well, no, I'm not going to.
Maybe a veteran. Yeah. Try to get a veteran guy. That would help.
Yeah, I would be.
Lucas Patrick at guard.
Nope, it's a non-starter for me.
Even Whitehair didn't play really well at guard last year, so I was happy with the center move. In fact, people were talking about, a lot of these blog boys were talking about saving some money on the cap and cutting Whitehair. If you remember, I remember. I'm old enough to remember that. So this situation on the offensive line going into the season is troublesome for me. How is it going to iron out, especially with Jenkins, Whitehair? Is anybody else injured?
Well, to me, the move probably that you're going to see with Tevin Jenkins is him make the initial 53, and then he's going to get reverted to IR, especially if he's out until October. And then they can bring him back, but then you're going to have the ramp up period. And I mean, at that point, including the ramp up period and bringing him back from IR, then you're talking not quite the midway point of the season, but that's who Tevin Jenkins is, unfortunately, at this point.
Oh, it's frustrating.
But it's, it happens with a lot of people, Phil, and it's who he is. And I'm not degrading the kid's talent, but when you're injured every single year and his injuries seemingly are all connected, it's the neck, it's the back, and now it's, his legs.
What is it? Calves, Sharif?
Yeah. That's what the
shit in your hat and get the hell off the field.
I don't know if shitting in the hat will help your calves out, but I guess I'll try anything at this point.
That would be my dad with the 2 calf strains.
Yeah. Rub some of this on there.
Either play
middle linebacker.
Get out of here. Get him off the field. He can't play.
Jeepers creepers.
I know.
Talented, but I'm not, like I said, he is on my depth chart no matter where he's slotted in pencil. And I'm not going to cut him. I'll let his contract play out. But like if you go into the offseason and there's an offensive lineman there that I think is fantastic, Tevin Jenkins doesn't even factor in for me. You're on the roster. That's fine. But you're a non-factor when I'm building my depth chart. He doesn't at this point. You only get so many chances, and the only thing that he's consistent at is missing games.
Byron, I don't have the answer. I have not gone to their practice, so I don't have the answer to that. I really need to get out to a camp to give a true.
You see a lot of
what I see on this shit.
99% of these guys are in shape, Phil, but just with the new CBA and the no contact, and then coaches are erring on the side of caution with everything, and that's why you see so many injuries with these guys. It's just honestly, Tom Thayer talked about it. You heard Matt Nagy say, hey, we got to get him calloused up, and then he doesn't play anybody.
And then he bubble wrapped everyone.
Right.
That's why I swear on everything I love with the CBA the way it is, and coaches being pissed off that they want live reps, and then they turn around and they shit in their hat and they leave their guys off the field. That doesn't mean any. Like, get out there.
That's the players' fault. The players are the ones that wanted. The owners didn't give a shit that they gave that up. They don't care about that.
Of course not.
It's about a give and take. And we want less practices where they're sitting. They're okay. The owners are paying these guys. They don't want them injured either.
Can you imagine real quick, because our guest is obviously enjoying the service
and the second plate of shrimp back there.
Shrimp cocktail. We sent the New England lobster roll, so I know he's enjoying that. But listen, this football team, this coaching staff, all of it is a huge unknown because of last year. This year, the injuries, there can't be excuses. You got to go out there and perform the way we expect you to perform, and we're going to see it play itself out. This weekend will be very interesting, Shane, because I didn't get to see the coach's presser. So my question real quick, did he say with the injuries that Justin will play?
He said it will be a fact. Playing time, injuries to the offensive line will be a factor in them determining what they do with the quarterback.
All right. So there's where we are. And that will be something we'll be talking about on Bears Hour Live, the best Bears post-game show on the planet. Right after Bears versus Buffalo, Shane and I will be live, unless his supervisor says something different.
I got it up.
Been waiting for.
Phil.
He's
overwhelmed.
Give me some fucking names.
Every week we're going to understand the
Give me
fucking
some
why.
fucking names.
It's Bears Hour live right after Buffalo versus Chicago this Saturday, 1 East. That's 12 noon for you people in the region. He was supposed to laugh at that. Now, speaking of the region, in the region of the desert, we're going to go out to Vegas and bring in one of our close friends. I love this guy. He has the story he can tell if he wants about how he found Shane and Phil. But since then, he's been a brother to us. You've seen him on Pawn Stars on the History Channel. He's the art appraiser when it comes to all things art and all of that stuff that I have no idea. Has he ever found a Da Vinci or some sort of hidden, wow, this was not expected that someone had this?
He's not a fucking archaeologist, bro. He's not out shoveling up priceless works of art.
Someone had it in their house somewhere hidden. Who knows? Let's bring him out, though. He's our guy, Brett Maly.
This rabid Chicago Bears fan is also a fine art appraiser for Art Encounter in Las Vegas, Nevada. He appears regularly as the art expert for History Channel's internationally syndicated show, Pawn Stars. 100 crew, put on your white gloves and don't touch that. Let's give it up for the man, the myth, the fine art legend. Let's give it up for the Tape Never Lies family. He's Brett Maly.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
What's up?
Oh, I'm good to see you. It's been a long time, guys. It's good to be here.
Is it 147 degrees in Vegas right now?
You know, no, it actually has been pretty nice. We had that tropical storm, Hillary, moved through, and it knocked it down. It knocked it down. Actually, a couple days ago, it was about 78 degrees. It was beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, can't beat it. It's been great. Now, in a couple more days, it'll be back up to 110. So, you know, we have the summers. You guys have the winters.
Yeah. I could do without those.
Hey, Phil, I gotta say, be careful when you say Pawn Stars. You got a little bit of an accent. You're gonna get me in trouble with my wife.
Yeah,
it's a little too close to something else.
Well, you could be a porn star, but you also you have a look-alike. You look like Garner Minshew's cousin or twin brother, right?
You know, I left my headband in the car though.
Every time I see Garner, I think of you, Brett. And he just played us last week. He does have a better arm. Can you throw a football, Brett?
You know, I was a tennis guy. I played tennis in high school, and I played a little baseball, but football, I don't know. It just not. You know, I don't know. I got a little bit of athleticism, but just the bare minimum.
That's how I became a Bears fan. Shitty
That's
football
right.
and the root for the Bears.
Oh man, could have been one of their players.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you jumping on here. Every year, we kind of start the season, kick it off with you, bringing on the Vegas odds and the crew jumping in, kind of going with their predictions. But before we get into all of that, just catch you up, you know, so far, what you've seen of the Chicago Bears this offseason. Obviously, you're a patron of us, and we appreciate your support, your promotion of us as a brother to us, and following our draft coverage all the way through. What are your thoughts now so far on these Bears?
Well, I mean, I can say it's the most excited I've been going into the season since 2019. So, I mean, what could go wrong?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I like this team. I think, you know, we've got so much more talent than we did last year. And last year, I mean, let's be honest, we weren't a 3-win team last year. I mean, we were,
Right.
but we were several notches above, where a 3-win team should be. We were folding up shop there the last few weeks, and with the injuries and the trades and everything. So I think we've got. I mean, it all comes down to Justin. You guys, we've talked that over. I mean, it all comes down to him. I think if he takes that Jalen Hurts step, I think the sky's the limit. I think the division's wide open. I think the conference is pretty wide open. But you guys led into it. If he gets hurt or doesn't take that next step, we're screwed. As much as I love Bajan, I think he's a great prospect. If Justin Fields is out for any length of time, we're developing.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you got to do. That's what teams do. It doesn't make any sense to me to move forward with PJ Walker or a Nathan Peterman. If you lose JF1, start the kid. See what happens.
Exactly.
I mean, stranger things have happened. See how it goes, and yeah.
Well,
I'm right there with you.
You guys gave me heartburn because you gave me flashbacks because growing up, we never had a quarterback. But the Packers, you mentioned Matt Hasselbeck, you mentioned Ty Detmer, you mentioned their backups. Were better than our starters, and it was so frustrating. I mean, then all of a sudden they trade. Hasselback, and they get a good pick for him. And we had nobody. We had Will Fuhrer. We had, I mean, those were our backups.
Yeah.
Moses Moreno.
Moreno. Yeah. So
Maly had a Steve Stenstrom jersey back in the day that he used to walk around in Vegas.
I did. Caleb Haney, all those.
Oh yeah.
Caleb Haney, Steve Walsh.
Steve Walsh took us to the playoffs. We can't too much.
The last Chicago Bears quarterback to win a road playoff game.
Yep.
Jeepers creepers.
Yep.
Brett has his own drop on the show.
He does.
Jeepers creepers. Yeah. I won't be saying that tonight though, hopefully. I'm actually at work and my Wi-Fi actually works. I'm not competing with two teenagers for bandwidth, and my wife won't have to hold the box up. And so we should be all right. I hope. Keep fingers crossed. But yeah, I mean, I think the Bears, hopefully we've turned the corner on quarterback. I mean, I was thinking when you guys were talking about quarterbacks, how, when I was growing up, they'd probably be on the phone right now to San Francisco trying to make some sort of Rick Meyer-esque, trade for Trey Lance, do like some sort of reclamation project with him,
Yep.
But draft and develop.
Got to.
Yeah, got to do it.
Teams do it.
I mean, you've been around the block, so real quick, since Shane and I devoted the first hour or so of the show to this young kid. I mean, are you with us that he should be developed as number 2 quarterback and learning right there and going through the season, rolling the dice with him?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think he gives you more upside. I mean, the experience isn't there, but Shane, you mentioned it earlier. I mean, PJ Walker's got experience, but it hasn't been experience, winning crucial games or taking teams to the playoffs, So I think, with Bajan, you've got the athleticism, you've got the accuracy, all the things they look for and they expect with Justin, you've got with him. So I think he's the perfect backup quarterback. I mean, you're not going to, I mean, who's the third string? Who's the guy that was our backup last year? His name escapes me.
Peterman?
Peterman.
Oh,
Peterman.
Trevor
Peterman.
Siemian?
Well, Trevor Siemian,
backup?
Nathan Peterman, he as good as he's looked, in the preseason, he doesn't have the same skill set. And that's a rare thing.
Not at all.
The other thing that
number 2.
you kind of sparked my thought here that the other thing this kid gives you is an unknown to other opposing teams because they haven't seen this kid. And are they going to be, if he ever had to go in there, you're going to have to prepare for a kid that's got a different kind of skill set and is a quality passer. I mean, listen, I played 1 AA football. I played with 9 guys that went into the NFL. Lance Schulters, Dave Fiore, Wayne Corbett, and I can't remember all the rest of them. But
Angelo Marino.
Jackal. But it doesn't matter where you play. That competition, the freaking passion and the pride and football and above itself, to throw that many times, have that much success, be that qualify, have these big schools pining for you for a transfer, and you decide to stay loyal. That says a lot. That says a lot. Listen, there is no substitution for me than loyalty. That's who I know my friends are and the people that I want to surround myself with. Loyalty comes from the fans, comes from your family, comes from your brothers, your friends. Everybody knows that. What he did there shouldn't be just written off by some Joe Schmo. He stayed the course, and his story could be a movie someday, just like Kurt Warner. He was bagging fucking groceries, as Jose Torres pointed out. It's the truth. And
yeah,
that's where we are.
You know, maybe I'm overestimating the Bears. I've been known to do it my entire life, but I think they've already made the decision that he's their number 2. I don't think that they put him out for a press conference like that.
Right.
You know,
I feel the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel the same way, Brett. Just listen, if you don't have any belief, or if you know that the kid's not going to be on the roster as a coach, if the media comes up and asks you your thoughts on it, you're going to be almost dismissive and not. I mean, they're heaping more and more praise on this kid. And like I said, players know first. Darnell Mooney talking about listening on the headset to him call the plays. That says a lot. And I know this has nothing to do with Justin Fields. This is about the future of the quarterback position moving forward. The first, second, and third string. It's all of them. The Bears have just we've never had a QB1 for real. You know what I mean? We all thought it was going to be Cutler. Grossman looked good early on. Orton had his moment way back to Jim McMahon. That's it. And then you look at the fucking Packers, and it's 32 years of the mountaintop.
Right.
And I mean, we can't get 2 years in a row here. Hopefully that's changing, but just leave this kid and develop him and see what happens. Strange. When Trent Green went down, the St. Louis Rams thought their season was over.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Stranger things have happened. I'm not saying that he's going to lead the Bears to the Super Bowl, but who knows what happens.
Drew
Keep him on the roster.
went out. Tom Brady came in.
And in the press conference, I mean, he seemed to have that it factor. I mean, he was so poised, just so polished.
Right.
You know, but he
the anti-Mitch.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, Mitch, exactly. He's looking down his cliff notes on how to be a leader and all that during the press conference. But no,
got my binky.
Yeah, and even, I mean, of course, Cutler, he had his own issues. So you know, but no, this guy just seemed like he's a natural leader without being arrogant. Just poised, calm. Again, you don't want to put too much stock into one preseason performance and one press conference, but. He has that it factor, and to your point, Shane, it seems like his teammates are pointing some of that out too. So,
yeah, well, back when we had Phil, you remember when we had Shane Matthews on here? I was talking to him. He was on the roster when the Bears drafted. The Bears traded down in 1999. They were at like 7, I think, and then they made the trade with Washington. They dropped down to like 12 or right in that range. Ended up drafting Cade McNown. And I said, how early did it take you to know, that there was some issues with Cade? Shane Matthews, like, he's like, I walked out the first practice. He's like, they drafted this kid in the first round and the motherfucker can't throw. Those were his exact words. And they drafted him in round 1. Right. I mean, Jesus. Players know. Players know.
Players know. Coaches know too. It's just again, my dad tells the story. My uncle Sam, they drafted a guy in the 2nd round. The GM drafted him. Sam said, "This guy can't play."
Yeah.
I got to cut him and take the loss now. As Shane always said, do you want to rip the Band-Aid off slow, or do you want to rip it? Real coaches just rip that shit off.
That didn't work out so well for us last time we used that, but
worked out fine.
I knew we were in trouble when we drafted Cade. Wasn't he the guy that would he had fake handicap parking stickers?
Yes, at UCLA. Yep.
He got caught up at UCLA.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't he a senator now or something?
Is he?
Yeah, he was something. I don't think he's a senator.
Oh, that's
I think that was Keith Schuler was.
Keith Schuler.
I think Cade sells insurance or something like that. But
State Farm is there. So is Cade.
But that's I always go back to other teams that are, Philadelphia is a Super Bowl contender, and they're drafting quarterbacks all the time. They're bringing in quarterbacks all the time. They can do it, and they were in the Super Bowl last year. Tanner McKee may be QB2 there. They can do that with a rookie, but the Chicago Bears, who won 3 games, can't. It makes me laugh. And when these Bears beat reporters, and they're all so scared to just come out and say, you know what? I fucking like this Bagent kid. He's shown me a lot. They don't want to be wrong, and it drives me nuts. Go out and talk about what you see. What's wrong with that? PJ Walker, has anybody seen a Chicago Bears player take the podium and say, you know what? I'm sick of you guys getting on PJ. You're not seeing what he's doing behind the scenes. He's a huge part about what we're doing. Has anybody heard that yet? No, they haven't. Have they praised Bagent? Yes. You've heard it from these guys. Players know first. And again, if I would take Nathan Peterman right now on this roster over PJ Walker. He looks like he's not great, but he looks like a more viable NFL quarterback running an offense to me than PJ Walker does. Experience, he's got 3 touchdowns and 11 interceptions in his career. Nathan Peterman has 4 touchdowns and 15 picks. I think 6 of those picks were in one game when he played for the Bills. 5, and I think it was when they played the Bears. Actually, it was like 5 or 6 picks he had. So other than experience, Brett, to your point, that's it. I want the more talented quarterback. That's what matters.
It's not a doubt. And his number 2 quarterback is developing. That's where you develop him, because the number 2 is going to get the reps in an emergency to be ready. So when people, you got to keep the veteran numbers. No, you keep the young kid behind, getting the reps, working in practice. Then he's running scout team. Then he's getting reps there. Then he comes over, runs your plays, gets 1 rep here, and now he's into it. I'm telling you.
I've never understood the Bears have always, it seems like throughout their history, they've always had quarterbacks with differing skill sets too. I mean, you'd have a fairly athletic quarterback in Jay Cutler, and then you'd have Todd Collins, who was a statue.
Exactly.
So you'd have to totally, throw out the playbook and start fresh if you had to bring in your backup or scrap half the plays in the playbook. Sure. Whereas, with Bagent, he obviously is not the athlete Fields is. Nobody is, but he's got the moxie. He's got the ability to roll out. He's got the ability to take off on the IPOs. Exactly. So you don't have to, to alter too much, which, I never understood why they always, would do that. But
no, it's a great point. You looked at the Bears had an athletic quarterback, and then they have Trevor Siemian.
Right.
Then they have an athletic quarterback, and then they have Matt Barkley. And that's
spend $45 million or $18 million guaranteed on Mike Glennon, and then
Mike Glennon
draft Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. Mike Glennon looked like.
Could they be any different?
What was his name? Doug. What was that cartoon? Doug Funny. That's Mike Glennon. For God's sake. I think that was probably my worst ever moment as a Bears fan when Shane called me and said, they have some serious interest. In Mike Glennon. I go, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Stop busting my balls.
I'm like, dude, I'm not making it up,
dude,
man.
I'm not kidding. I go, what? In what world do you have interest in him? Unless you're asking him to fucking paint your house. There he is. That was him after he threw his third pick of the day. Oh my God. I forget who picked up Mike Glennon and fucking dumped him. Oh my God. I felt bad. He's just so bad. I was
remember when he played for the Giants, his first time back to Chicago, the first
my God.
snap of the game, Travis Gibson folded him in half and he fumbled the football. First play of the game. Yeah.
Brett was like, Jeepers creep.
I'm sorry. I was wrong on PJ. He's got 5 touchdown passes.
Jeepers creepers.
5 touchdowns, 11 interceptions over 3 NFL seasons. Yep. So,
so I think
they always show that one pass that he did to win the game. That's the only highlight
to DJ Moore. That's why the Bears fans are like, "Oh shit, he can do that here." Yeah, that was to DJ Moore. But yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, coming off action here, he's throwing picks.
Listen, let it all play out. Hopefully, I'm telling you what we would do. Shane and I, and now Brett is in the same huddle as we are. That would be our number 2 quarterback, and we'll see how they play it out this weekend. How many reps? What's going to go on with Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears that they ramp up to play the Packers.
You got to give him some reps, man.
I agree.
Justin, you got to.
I agree.
You can protect your guy with play calls.
You can protect your guy with play calls.
Yeah.
You can go max protect, throw some balls down the field, run the ball, for God's sake. It's still getting footwork.
You head into week 1 versus Green Bay, and he's thrown 3 passes in the preseason and none beyond the line of scrimmage. That's
a scary thing.
It is.
I remember like it was yesterday, 4 years ago. It was like the beginning of the end with Nagy when you guys just roasted him for not playing Mitch and the starters going into the Green Bay game. I mean, you just gave him, and at that time I'm like, well, hey, he's coach of the year. He knows what he's doing. And then they go out and they score 3 points, at home.
Right. In that whole entire offseason, Brett, I can remember it. Listen, that was the Bears 100 and all of that. And there was no next step winning a playoff game. It was, all right, it went off the upright. We're winning the fucking Super Bowl next year. That was it.
Away.
Yeah, we're not going to put anybody in harm's way in preseason. None of them played. And like you said, they came out if you remember that first play, Tariq would have housed it. He would have housed it, but he fumbled the football. And he did get it back, but it was, if that would have went off, I can't imagine what the Soldier Field would have sounded like if he.
I was in the stadium
the first snap of the game. That game, you go back and it was wide open. Phil, the seas parted. It was.
I could see it going on. I'm like, what the fuck formation? They're coming out in the T
formation. Yeah.
Now you don't think Cohen would have run out of bounds?
Yeah, he might very well could have. Tariq trying to. He's in the news now. Bears fans need to get over that.
Right?
Got so many DMs. You think we should pick up Reek? And I'm like, nope, we're good.
No, that chapter's been and page has turned, but you root for him. I'm not going to hate on anybody. I'm rooting for
absolutely. He's been through.
Absolutely. I just don't think you bring that guy here.
No. Who do you get? Who would you remove on this roster? I mean, at running back. To add Tariq Cohen, who is
no one
bigger question mark than Preston Ebner is. Let's be honest.
Right. You hope he has a workout. Someone picks him up and he rejuvenates his career. But the shelf life for a small running back in the NFL is not very long. That's unfortunately there. Now, Brett Maly, if you're just tuning in.
No fucking way, Jeremy. That's an awful swap.
Channel's Pawn Stars. There you go. Pawn Stars. Now answer my question. Have you ever had anyone come in with something that, wow, this is a major find that they found at a tag sale.
Have you never watched
Audio.
Pawn Stars?
I don't watch it all the time. I've watched
Every
Brett,
week they
but
got
I'm
the
talking-
Holy Grail coming through. This is the Holy
they?
Grail of this, the Holy Grail of that, the Holy.
Right.
But you know, the one thing I will say is being on the show, being part of the History Channel, I get so many calls from people all over the country, all over the world, and most of them, I mean, you know, they think they have something, but they don't, and you know, that's okay. I try to educate them, but we are working a project right now, and it made me laugh when Phil said it. But we are working on a Leonardo da Vinci.
Wow.
That is actually a sculpture that was found. That's believed to be by his hand. Yeah, we're currently doing the research, and we're you know, it's one of those things you have to research to the nth degree and trace the provenance. We've had a team working on it, trying to analyze. Now the sculpture is in beeswax. That's what they would do back then. They didn't have modeling clay back in the 1500s.
Right.
So they would use like a beeswax. So they're actually right now doing analysis, trying to trace the beeswax to a particular type of honeybee that was in Italy, in that region.
Wow.
You know, so it's absolutely fascinating. It's something that, quite frankly, I never in a million years thought I'd be involved with, but it came about because of Pawn Stars. Really, I had a guy call me and said he was from Indiana. He said, "I think I may have a Leonardo da Vinci in my closet," and I'm like, I think I got a Botticelli in my basement, you know, but you know, but I didn't hang up on him. I listened to his story. He flew out to Las Vegas, and that's been several years. We've been working on it for a good long time, and you know, there's been a lot of development. But when you're talking about something done by the ultimate Renaissance man, you know, you have to make sure all your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So it's been analyzed. We've had historians look at it. We've had, you know, all sorts of different people do analysis. And it's pretty exciting. So, yeah, if you go to our website, which is my company's website, artencounter.com, there's a whole page devoted to the story and kind of us, you know, tracing history. And it's pretty amazing. Again, I kind of get off on that stuff, the history side of things. And when you're talking about Leonardo and
I got it up.
500 years, it's fascinating trying to trace all that. So you hit the nail on the head, Phil.
There you go. I usually do at some point.
We got to get you guys out here to Las Vegas. I know we've talked about
I know. I've never been. Never been.
You'd love it. You'd love the town. I mean, there's sports bars on every corner. There's, you know, giant, you know, every sports, you know, book in town's got, you know, a dozen 20-foot tall TVs. And for watching football, there isn't a better town.
What about the Sphere? Have you been to that yet?
We drove by it. I haven't been to it, but you know, they keep changing the you know, the optics and everything. Sometimes it's an eyeball, sometimes it's a globe. It's amazing. The only thing that kind of screwed it up was when the tropical storm moved through Hillary. Apparently, it short circuited and it was like glitching and everything. So we're not used to rain out here in the desert. So apparently,
does anybody out there have a
waterproof the thing?
Does anybody out there have a beeswax statue of Aiden O'Connell yet?
I haven't seen one yet. No.
Setting the world on fire out there. There's people talking today that think he should start over Jimmy G.
You know, yeah, the Raiders are kind of like a train wreck. You know, you can't look away. You know, it just seems like they just are always making the wrong move. They got, you know, such a beautiful stadium. I'd love to you know, have them as kind of my second favorite team because they've had players on there that I've liked. You know, I like Carr, and you know, but it seems like every time they get something going, you know, they mismanage it or do something that causes the train to go off the rails. So there's
Aiden.
There's Aiden. Shane's boy.
Yeah, saw him live on the sidelines. But yeah, that's he's playing well, man. He reminds me, during the college football season, I texted Phil and I'm like, man, this fucking O'Connell from Purdue throwing the football reminds me so much of Jim Miller, you know, former Bears quarterback.
Right.
Feels like
sure.
It's like, dude, that's the craziest shit ever. He's like, I just had this conversation. I think you were saying to Steph or somebody like that.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife about it because me and Jim Miller used to be very good friends.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he disappeared, Brett.
He disappeared. He blocked me on Twitter, and we've never heard from him again.
Well, he has. I don't know. He's a better quarterback than he is a broadcaster. I've listened to him a couple of times.
Yeah, he was definitely in preseason mode on the one Bears game this year.
He was butchering names. He was saying the wrong trade happened with the right. Yeah, I was cringing, but I got to give him credit. The first 2 Bears games that I saw were the year that he took us to the playoffs. I saw him beat 2001. I saw him beat the Bucks at Soldier Field. That was great.
Oh yeah.
And then actually I take that back. The next game I saw him quarterback was a hell of a game. We beat San Diego in San Diego. That was when he went on like a 3 or 4 game streak where he was throwing.
Yeah, he went over 400 yards in that San Diego game.
The Vikings, I thought it was.
Well,
it was San Diego too.
There was
it was both games.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
it was unbelievable. He had
back-to-back.
Marcus Robinson.
Awesome. He had back-to-back 400 plus. Yeah.
That was when he hit Marcus Robinson down the right sideline. I could see it.
Yeah.
Deep ball. Marcus Robinson.
Just real quick about
the rest is history.
The Raiders stadium, they've said that the renderings that the Bears are using it's the same architects that did that stadium out there that are going to be working on what they have. Yeah.
The Bears are using the same guys.
I got to say, I don't have a ton of experience in a lot of different NFL stadiums. I've only been to a handful. But it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's state of the art. There's really, I don't want to say there's not a bad seat in the house. That's hyperbole, but it's a really open stadium. And the acoustics are incredible. So if they, use that as the model, I think they'd be in good shape. Yeah.
And they have the huge video board on the outside of the stadium too, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, they do. It's awesome. And they've got
a great idea.
I don't know if they're going to do the same practice field, but they got they've got retractable practice field and retractable grass. And I mean, it's a state of the art as you get. I haven't been there for a Raiders game, but UNLV plays out of there, and I've been to a couple of their games, and it's been fun.
Nice. So Brett in Vegas always is bringing the season on the brink bets. Right. For this, we'll bring in our whole cast.
This is when Jackal gets his paper and pen ready to write these down.
Last year he forgot to write it down.
Just rip one of the pages out of those books behind you, Jackal. You can write on those.
Let's bring them out. There he is. Chris Jackal is back.
Hey Chris.
You can't hear him. He's on mute.
How we doing, people? Brett, all right.
Good to see you.
And we also got the lady of the house. She's ready. She's also here. There she is, Cherie. How's it going, Cherie? How you feeling?
Cherie.
I'm good. Hey, Brett.
How are you?
Brett is here, Cherie.
Cherie, you should probably take down that White Sox clock behind you and throw it in the fucking garbage.
First of all, that is a Chicago clock. With
I thought it was the Chicago White Sox.
It's not White Sox. And I am fully aware of how bad the White Sox are right now.
Shit.
I have no idea what they're talking about, Brett. So
it's a kind of baseball that you'd think adults would play at the professional level in Chicago, but they just don't do that with the White Sox. It's like minor league baseball over there right now. It's pretty sad. I can only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but Jeepers Creepers.
Yes, Jeepers Creepers tonight. We're going to have you, the fan, play along, put your name to it. Not 4 weeks before the season ends, say you predicted this whole thing. Right now, before the season begins, I want to see where you are with these bets. Brett, you're going to walk us through and explain it to us. Sometimes I need a refresher. I'm not a gambler. I've never pretended to be.
Sure.
So where are we at with our first?
You sent all your money to Japan earlier this morning, didn't you, Phil?
Yeah, I did.
I just got that. 2.5.
I got a DM from Japan saying to help somebody out because they're locked up. And I'm like, guys, look at this.
Phil's like, what should we do with this? I said, you're going to block it and you're going to go back to work, Phil. That's what we're going to do here. So what do we got going on, Brett?
All right. Well, yeah, these are ones I picked up yesterday from the South Point Hotel and Casino, which is the closest one to my house. So, but they're the latest lines. And what these are basically is they're, as we've done before, they're futures odds. So basically you're betting on the performance of the team or the player on the team as to how they'll do during the course of the season. And it's, I'm not a real big gambler myself. My dad's more of the player, but just to kind of educate your audience a little bit, you guys already know, but some of these numbers I'm going to say, if it's a positive number, like if I say the over under, the Bears are, minus 110 to go over. That means if you have to bet $110 to win 100, that means they're favored. If it's plus 110, it's the opposite. If you have to, if you bet $100, you'll win 110. So again, so if I say plus and minus numbers, the minus is the favorite, the plus is the underdog. And right now, I got to say, based on what I'm seeing here, there's a lot of sharps that are betting on the Bears, which is a surprise. Yeah. It seems like it. I was doing some research right before I jumped on, and the most popular bet in I guess in the entire season of prop betting last year was?
What?
It was the Bears and under their total of 6.5 wins. 95% of all the money that came in on that bet was on the under. And I think we were the 5% that went the other.
I was going to say, I was on the other side of that bet.
Yeah, so was I.
David Kaplan's driving his car. I drive a Sonata.
So sometimes the bettors know what they're doing. But this year, and we'll start with the most generic of futures, is the Bears win total. Right now, they're at 7.5, and right now they're at minus 120 to go over. So they're favored to go over the total. So if you wanted to bet the Bears and over, you'd have to bet $120 to win 100.
So you're right, Jackal. You writing these down?
I got it right here.
All right, so go right.
So
are you going over 7.5 wins for the Bears this year, Phil?
Oh, that
over 7.5 wins, right?
Yeah, I got them 9 wins.
I would pound the over myself. Jackal?
I'm taking the over on that as well.
We're all going over.
She's always positive.
I already did.
No, she's going
FanDuel,
over.
So I'm already locked in on FanDuel.
Brett, are you pounding the over on that?
Definitely pounding the over. I think if the Bears win 8 wins, I'd consider it a disappointing season. So
thank you, Brett.
Yep.
Nice.
What about you, Sheree?
I'm definitely taking over. Shane spoke for me.
I did.
Well, in agreement here.
Sheree's
You
always
allow
positive.
him to speak for you?
Oh my God, listen to it. Sheree and I are we get along very well, don't we, Sheree?
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's not overstated. There are times I want to kill you. So
yeah, that's fine. What do we got next?
So we're all
There's
over.
function and
That's
dysfunction.
good. All right.
All over. Yep.
Yep, everybody's over on that one. I like it.
And if there's one thing we've learned from 4 years of doing this with the Bears, it's take the over.
That's right. Exactly.
We gotta give Sheree her music.
Flashbacks.
This is just
We're
not
all
something we have
over.
to go around the round table on. But the one thing I thought that was interesting was even though they're betting the Bears to go over, and they're betting the Bears, it looks like a lot of guys are taking flyers on the Bears to win the Super Bowl. Their Super Bowl odds started the year at 100 to 1. It's now down to 30 to 1. So
wow,
still pretty
Really?
low odds, but
30 to
1 down
1.
to 30 to 1. There's a lot of people putting money on the Bears to win the Super Bowl. The weird thing is though, their odds to win the division, and I don't know how this works, but the odds to win the division have actually gotten longer. Which I don't know how you can win the Super Bowl, but the divisional odds get worse because they started the season. What was it? They started the season at plus 320. So if you bet 100 to win 320, now they're 5 to 1. They're 5 to 1. So I don't get
They're going to
the
go
odds
in
came
as a
down from
wild
100
card
to
and
100.
Run the table.
yeah.
Yeah. They'll
Hey,
do what the Packers did about 10 years ago or whatever.
You slay the dragon in the beginning of the playoffs.
Brett, when did you grab those? When did you grab the +5 hundo? Was that today when you saw that?
Yesterday.
That was,
yesterday.
yesterday. I got it
Okay,
yesterday.
so
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
And some of the bets is player props. There's not as many out just yet, and I think part of it is usually we do this like a few days before the season starts, not a couple weeks. So I don't think they want to put a lot of props on players before they get through the preseason healthy.
Absolutely.
And they know the bet's gonna go because they don't want to spend all their time refunding money. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, next bet. Let's take a look here. That was, like I say, that was the easy low hanging fruit. Let's get to some of the player props. And we'll start with some of the player props, and again, you're betting on the player's performance. You're betting them to hit certain markers, be it touchdown, receiving yards, rushing yards, and you're either betting them to go over the total that's posted or under the total that's posted. And like I say, historically with the Bears, and I'd like to look into this more. Most of the people that bet futures are they're fans. They're betting, their team. Right. And of course you're going to be optimistic. You're going to think, okay, they're generally going to do better probably than what the sharps here in Vegas think. So I'd kind of like to do a study and just look at just taking the under, just being contrarian, just taking the under on all these and just see, if you did that for every team, for every player, for every bet, just to see how you do. So I don't know, maybe in another life.
Every Bears beat writer in the world pounded the under on all of them, Brett.
Yeah. Well, up until they'd be richer than us, that's for sure.
Yes.
All right, Justin Fields, the most important player on the team, the key to a successful season. Let's take a look at his totals. I'll get to the passing yards. Let's take a look at rushing yards. Just I'm curious, what do you guys think the over under on the rushing yards might be?
725.
That's where
would be my guess.
Low. 947.
You're a little.
Are you looking at it? That's a very specific number.
I meant to say 400, 940, and I don't know if 7 came out of my mouth, but
no. It's like we're doing that prices right.
947. $1.
That's the time it is. Whatever.
It's 875 and a half. 875.
875.
Remember, Demo was like 8. Was he 800 last year when we did this? His player prop.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, can't remember.
I was 800. I remember us. We some of us jumped on and put some money on that.
I would
this last year.
Well,
it's 875 and a half. You said.
So the over under
875
and a half.
Yeah,
I would go under on that.
I'm going under as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go under too. I could see it being 700, 800, but yeah, 875 seems high.
Big Mo's going under.
Jackal's perplexed. Look at him.
I am.
He's got the lips folded. He's wiping
I don't know what
his
to do.
brow.
I don't know. Help me out
I
here.
don't know. I'm tempted to take the over.
Me too, Shuri. I feel.
Go with what you think.
You know what though? With the I like the running back room. I feel I'm going to go the under. I think just based on running back by committee, it just is going to take away from some
I'm
opportunities.
going to take the over. I'll be the one on the team.
I love all.
No, we're talking about rushing yards, not balls, Shuri.
Same thing.
It's like StreamYard cuts it short now.
I know. Yeah, there's some issues there.
Crazy. Listen, Mo saying gotta go the under because the passing's gonna increase.
Yeah, they have more weapons. They have more weapons to pass to.
I agree.
But then you got to look at it too this way: is if the defense is better, they may have more opportunities, and that could be more opportunities to pass or more opportunities to run. We'll see. But I would go the under.
So we all went under. Cherie went over.
Yep.
Anybody in the chat go over? I didn't see one. Any of you fans?
Can you
ready
clip
to put
that,
your neck
Jackal?
What
About
did I say?
35. We all went under Cherie.
Oh, jeez. We all went
We just
under.
got a strike.
3 over.
So what's the next one? Or you went under too, Brett,
Yeah.
on that? Okay. What's
Yeah,
the
I went
next
under
one?
on the rushing, and part of the reason, I'm sure it was all of our reasons, was we expect him to pass more and be more efficient,
Yep.
more yards and all of that, which is why this line doesn't make sense to me. His total passing yard estimate over under is 2,875.5.
Over.
Which seems to me that seems ridiculously low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I would go over.
2,785.
No,
What is that about?
2,875.5.
That's about
875.
That's what is that about 600 more than last year? What was
Yeah.
he last year passing?
Yeah, not much more.
Yeah.
What was that number again, Brett?
400, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The total is 2,875.5.
Thank you.
I'm banging the over on that.
I gotta go over.
That's
Gotta go
less than
over.
170 yards a game if he played a full season. That's,
Yeah, if he's throwing that, we got
that's fucking ridiculous.
He's got to be the over there.
Over on that. We're anticipating that. I think we expect that out of him. I mean, I'm seeing 3,000 yards at least.
That's what I thought. The over under would be around
Yeah.
3,000.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
He's
Sure.
got-
I thought it'd be higher.
I got to see him push the mark and get history on our side here with the 4,000.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna hit 4, but
I don't think
I'm
he'll do that this season.
yeah.
Not this year, but I think he could definitely.
I see it in the future, but I don't think this year.
I'd be very happy if he did it this year.
I think
No,
he's going to hit it this year. I will say it. I think he's going to hit that 4,000 mark.
Hey,
that's
that'd be
my
great.
And he's
they got the
going to
weapons.
eclipse the 30. He's going to eclipse the 30 TD. I got to give him that.
We got the room for it.
He says he's going
All
to.
right.
Jose Pep.
That's
is
weird.
with-
Where'd Shane go?
Look at Cam staying right under the 4,000 mark. Yeah, that would piss me off, Cam. No doubt about it. Like,
Oh wait, sorry about that.
I would throw like
I hit the wrong
7
button.
screens that game and make sure he hit 4,000.
Gave some people agit on that one.
I don't know where Shane went.
That was weird. It's a weird little 4-way box we got here. The fact that Vegas thinks he's going to throw for 169 plus yards is just laughable to me. I just don't understand. I mean, I get it based on the numbers last year, but I mean, fuck, the roster was
I agree with you, Chris,
JV
but I
team.
tell you what, there were plenty of bets last year when we were going over. And we're like, oh, that's laughable. And,
True.
they came in the under almost every
They
time.
do know what
So,
they're doing, right?
Yeah.
That's why
And,
they
you know,
got gold ceilings.
The house always wins for a reason. I think that's what they say.
They really do. And with futures, like I say, I mean, you're excited about your team. You're going to be optimistic. You're going to be inclined to bet the over. But then, it doesn't factor in injuries. If he gets injured in week 3, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. Then they don't refund your money for betting the over. You're screwed.
That's it.
Yeah, no, you
That's
can't
over.
withdraw.
Right there,
Because once I realized we wasn't hitting 6, I tried to withdraw and they didn't.
Good try,
They
Sherry.
frown on that.
There's no way to get that money back, is there?
Yep.
There's no
Those
refund.
early payouts sometimes happen if you're, those are always nice to see.
I mean, that's the biggest problem with future bets. I mean, and that's why a lot of the sharp players don't play them, is because your money's tied up for months. And a lot of times the odds are pretty sad. If you could get the Bears at 100-1 to win the Super Bowl, and they did, that's a pretty good payout. But now they're down to 30-1. You'd probably be better off just waiting to the playoffs and betting on the first round, second round, third round, just letting it ride.
Sure.
As opposed to having your money tied up for the better part of 6 months
until January, right?
Right.
I
So,
agree.
all
with
right,
you.
with Shane back, let's move on to total rushing touchdowns for Mr. Fields. They've got him currently. Vegas odds are 6.5 touchdowns for the season.
Over.
Gotta be over.
Yeah, I'd go over.
Me as well.
Yeah,
I'm going over as well.
Everybody's
seems
going
like we're all
over
singing
there.
from the same hymnal. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll say over.
I mean, I
Nobody's
just see
excited
him in
about
my
this
head.
guy at all. Not one person.
Pull him waggle, and I could see him running for 2 in a game. Like,
Yeah, right, Phil?
now we're going.
You could knock out 2 versus Green Bay. I mean, they're going to use him.
Exactly.
They're going to use him in the red zone. People are going to be focused on Claypool and DJ Moore and
Tunyon.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Komet.
walk in.
Hey, Chris, Chris, do you have the stat of how many touchdowns total rushing and passing Fields had last year? Do you have that handy?
Total number of touchdowns? Not in front of me, but I can get it.
Was it 26?
Better 28.
That's kind of what I thought.
Total together, you mean
26,
running
27.
and passing?
Running and passing. The reason I ask is the totals that
Yeah,
they're giving.
He had 17 passing, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what he had rushing.
Where is it? Rushing, he had 8, so 25.
25, okay.
Yeah.
Because if you add up the Vegas estimates, the totals for rushing and passing, they're predicting him to have 27 touchdowns because they've got him right now, the total touchdowns passing at 20 and a half, which again, I think is way, way low.
Over.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the thing, they were talking
Total?
about everybody goes to the Jalen Hurts comparison. He had 22 touchdown passes last year. Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
And he was in the MVP discussion. I'm not saying that he didn't have a fantastic year. He did have a fantastic year, but I mean, Justin had 17. That's not
right
with the talent that Justin had versus what Hurts had available to him every week with the best offensive line in the NFL. Yeah, I'd be banging the over on that all day long.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know how you can't with those additional weapons. Yeah.
Listen,
I like that.
I'm surprised he only had 8 rushing TDs last year. In my head, I
Seems
felt
like
like he
18.
had 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't do much the first 6 weeks. It was like that stretch that he had against Miami and Dallas, and that's when he just blew up.
Yeah, Ryan Cox is right. He did have some drop touchdowns too.
Yeah, he did. I was looking before we move on from Justin. Right now, you can get his odds to have the most. If you're really optimistic on his passing yards, he's currently 150-1 to win the passing championship, most passing yards for the season.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And he is the longest odds quarterback that they have listed. They have C.J. Stroud at 100-1. They got Baker Mayfield at 100-1. Bryce Young at 100-1.
No respect.
Justin Fields is 150-1.
Wow.
I mean, I don't think there's much of a chance.
C.J. Stroud?
Yeah.
That's a kick in the stones. The fuck?
I think so. Desmond Ridder got it 125-1.
Yeah, that's
for MVP.
No, for
most passing yards.
Most passing yards in the league.
Most passing yards
in the league.
Wow.
CJ Stroud. Like, that's what I can't get over.
Well, maybe because they're gonna suck and he's gonna have to throw 50 times a game. I don't know, but like I don't know. That's just wild.
What is Bryce Young at? Is he on there?
4'2".
He's on there. Bryce Young's 100-1.
100-1, and they just lost their one wide receiver today, and they said that it wasn't good.
Yep.
Really?
Well, I mean, if it was today, these came out yesterday, so maybe new odds will reflect that. But they have Jimmy Garoppolo, who, as we talked about, he's in danger of maybe getting bumped. He's at 75-1. They've got Mac Jones at 75-1. Lamar Jackson, Mr. Running Quarterback's at 40-1.
Wow.
So there you go. I'm looking here. Let's see. Kirk Cousins. Well, of course, for as much grief as we give Kirk, he's always in like the 4,000, 4,200 yard range. They have him at 12-1. Trevor Lawrence, they got 15-1. Tua, they got it 15-1.
Jack finally caught on. Jesus, Jackal. My bad, Brett. Sorry.
That's all
what
right.
was he at?
It's just kind of funny. Who? Tua or?
Yeah, what was Tua at?
Tua's at 15-1 to lead the league in
15-1. Yeah, he had some.
So I mean, I think Justin Fields is a damn fine bet at 150-1. I mean, do I think it'll happen? No, but at those odds, it could happen. I could see it. It was funny story. I'm looking at this sheet, and at first I saw 50-1 for Field, and I'm like, oh, good, 50-1. Well, that's not too bad. But they were actually listing the field, not Fields.
Oh yeah,
so all the
right.
quarterbacks that aren't listed,
Whoopsie.
if you bet the field,
Son
it's
of a-
50-1. But so anyway, so that's the QB.
I like that.
Let's move on to our new acquisition. Let's see what DJ Moore's up to.
Okay.
DJ Moore.
All right, this is another one I'm going to ask you guys just kind of to gauge. What do you think his total receiving yards are estimated at?
900.
I'm going to say 850.
I mean, they have Justin at what, 2700, so he can't be too high. Not
They're
like
not
I
gonna have
saw
him at
this
1200,
somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought like
You guys are both very-
900 or
I'm gonna say about
899 or something.
You guys are very close. 875.5.
Yeah.
I'm banging the over on that.
780.
Taking over.
I think Mooney gets that over.
875 is
can
what
see
they
that.
have it at, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
875.5.
over.
Ooh. We got a lot of 1100s out here. I think everyone's over
Yeah,
again.
Yeah.
Well, he's consistently put up 1,000 yards, right?
4 years in a row,
Thereabouts.
right? On
So-
average.
Not last year.
On
Last
average,
year,
they're
he
saying
only-
1,000 yards a season.
What did
Oh
he
yeah,
do
average.
last-
But yeah.
Last year he only did 888.
Yep.
Right, but he played with that
That's
shitty
where they
PJ
came-
Walker.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
They would have had Tyson Bagent. He would have.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, 875.5. I'll go way over. I mean, I think a disappointing season if he has 900 yards. I mean, he
Yeah.
considered that a disappointment. We consider that a disappointment, but that's still an over. So
Agreed, Brett.
I'm with you, Brett.
Yeah.
I think he's in the 1,000-yard above club.
Yeah, I agree.
I remember
Let's
those
get at least
cards
1100.
back in the 90s, the 1,000-yard club. You remember those
right.
Yeah.
football cards? And they like $1 looking. It looked like money, but it was the Jerry Rice.
You could never get the Chicago
Got him
Bears
over there.
because you needed the 450 and over club.
Wendell Davis is 638.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Now on the receiving touchdowns, they're kind of pessimistic too. I think they've got him at 5.5.
Over.
What?
Yeah.
5.5.
I think he's gonna have
I
that at
gotta
the midway
go.
point.
I'm going to
I
go
gotta
under.
over.
Under 5?
DJ Moore under 5.5.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people are going to catch touchdowns for the Bears, and I just think he's going to spread the ball
Just not
around.
DJ. Just not.
No,
DJ
I just
Moore.
I think you could see 4 guys with 5 touchdowns. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, hey,
Hey,
just,
don't hate on him.
I'm a betting man, you know.
Trying to do shit again, so let's not jinx it.
I can only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but
Chris just wants to be contrarian, so we're not all
kind
tired.
of, kind of.
right.
Everybody keeps going over, and I'm like, we got to kind of,
I gotta go over here though. Got it. I think
I
he's
hope
gonna
he's
get
over by
8.
half.
I think if I had to bet, I'd go 8 on him.
Be a good number. Yeah, 7, 8.
Yeah,
right in
I
that
mean,
range.
to Chris's point, I do think there's going to be a lot of spread in the wealth. But I think DJ, even spreading the wealth, he gets 7, 8, 9 touchdowns. So yeah, I'll say over.
You're probably right.
All right, let's see here. We don't need total receptions. Let's see.
All right.
What we got here.
All right.
I'm still stuck on that
Texas.
divisional odds. That's really plus 500.
Yeah, well, it's not the equivalent. It's 5-1. So yeah.
Oh, that was 5 to 1. I wrote it down. Oh, all right. I was like, Jesus.
What?
Yeah.
All right, let me cross that out. It's like, I
Let's
need to
get
make
your
that.
everybody put your Karnak hats on and your crystal balls. Let's look at the running back situation here. Let's see who we think is going to be the starting running back and who's going to have the most yards.
As long as Shari's happy,
Right now,
I'm
you got
happy.
As long as Cherie's happy, he's
That's
happy.
my starting running back.
Thomas Jones.
his
he's
total
not
for
in the
rushing
bet.
yards. Vegas has got it at 600.5.
Who's this Herbert?
Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert.
600.5. Yep.
He had that in 4 games last year.
Under. I'm going under.
Yeah, there's going to be a 35.
And that's what I'm thinking. I think I agree with Jacko in the sense that the run game is going to be spread around. So 600.
If they're talking running back by committee already, I mean,
or is it 600?
Well, what do you think the running back room gets as a whole?
600.5.
They always got to put this 0.5 in there.
Yeah, it makes them a lot of money.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It always somehow comes in too, right? It'd be like 600, and you lose by that 0.5. That's the worst.
As a team last year, they rushed for 3,000.
You know, with 7.5, they're going to have winners and they're going to have losers. Not going to be, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to go under.
Herbert
I'm going to
731 last year.
I'm gonna go under because I think Deontay Foreman's a very good running back, and I think Roshan's gonna make an impact as they go along.
Bratcher, I know he's betting the over.
Yeah. What's the over under on missed pass blocks for Khalil Herbert? I'll bang the fucking over on whatever the number is.
Vegas can't put that line up.
I think you have to go to certain websites.
Right.
Begins with an X.
That's a tough one. 600 yards. You know, they will spread the wealth, but I do think he's going to be at least the start of the year their bell cow.
The feature.
And, he's capable of some real. God, that's tough. 600 yards.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to say under too, though.
You're going under.
Yeah,
35.
I feel like Roshan's put pressure on him already.
I think Foreman and Roshan.
Yeah, but
I think them sitting him out last week. I don't know. He may get.
I'm gonna
go over.
You know what?
Over.
Put me down. I'm switching. Put me down for an over for Herbert.
All right, Brett.
Brett.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Chris and Brett.
There you go. Chris and Brett. Cam is going the over.
There it is. I like that.
Dwight. Dwight
I'll
Howell.
take the over.
Sheree has changed course.
No, I never said under. I'm struck because I want to think under, but 35, averaging 35 a game seems so low.
John Taylor's going
send
1,100.
Send her a Team Bratcher t-shirt over there.
Go.
Khalil Herbert. Is he going over 600.5 or under? That is the question.
Now, I don't think that 1,100.
Shane and I
4 touchdowns. He got 4.5 touchdowns. You have that, Brett, by any chance?
I don't have that one on my sheet. Is that what you have for him, Chris?
No, I was just curious. I figured if he's at 600.5, I was curious where they had him for TDs.
No, the only prop bets they had for both Herbert and Foreman were you can bet on them for Offensive Player of the Year, total rushing yards, to win most rushing yards, the rushing title, or most rushing touchdowns. But they didn't break it down. A lot of times they do, but it may just be because it's too early in they don't.
What was Foreman's prop?
Who's going to be the starter?
Yeah,
Foreman. They've got him at total rushing yards at, and it's another 0.5er, 460.5.
Ooh, see, that's an interesting bet.
I think he's going to be over.
It's a true committee. It should hit, right? I mean,
well, then you also have to throw in Getsy, who on third down will throw an empty set and 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
So you have to worry about him too in this bet. So
watch the Bears make a trade for Jonathan Taylor tonight, and then we're all fucked.
My over bets suck.
We're back live on the air, folks. With our
It'd be over for just the Colts because they'd all get traded over there. I'm assuming, right?
Well, I think if they made a move, I think you'd see Herbert
One's got to go back.
You'd see Herbert going to Indy.
Yeah,
I believe.
Oh,
is that right? What you said earlier, Shane, that Taylor's only 24?
Yeah,
24 years old. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Seems like he's been in the league for
Yeah, he's younger than Khalil
years.
Herbert. Younger than Herbert is.
Wow.
It's crazy. That's why I think when you look at Ryan Pohl's philosophy, I don't think that they're actually going to trade for him, but 100% you have to make that phone call because that's how he worked. Free. He paid Tremaine Edmonds because Edmonds was 24 years old and they paid him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are the things. This is a guy at 24. Yes, he's had some ankle injuries, but this is a guy that you can count on for the next few years to be here. And they were willing to pay at running back. They offered Demo money to have him come back. So they're willing to do that. It'll be, I think, a little bit more expensive.
$4 million more than he's making now. What's he at? $4 million this year? Why can't you give him $8?
So, I just don't think I can see Philly opening up I can see that move for them.
I like when you say the coffers.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a coffer is. What the fuck is a coffer, Brett?
Opening up the
I had the
coffers?
flu last week. I was a coffer.
Yeah.
When I hear people, you gotta open up the coffers to pay him. I'm like, what is the coffer? I always wanted to know. No one knows.
I wish more
Even
of my
Jackal
clients would open up the coffers and buy some art.
I'm looking it up.
Where does
a coffer is a large, strong chest
like a jar.
used for storing valuable objects such as money or gold and silver.
So it's like the pirate.
You ever heard my fucking nickname on here, bro?
It's Old English, as Shane likes to speak it.
That's right.
How art thou?
From across the pond, Jay.
That's right.
Open up the coffers.
That's dumb English.
So what do we think, guys and girls? Over 460.5?
For Foreman, I'm going over.
Yeah.
Cherie's going over too?
Yeah.
Everybody.
What did it say you in the chat?
I'm going to go under.
Brett's
and the
going
only reason
under.
Being is I was bullish on Herbert. I think he's going to be more of a bell cow than we think. And I could see Foreman having, a role, but 460, I see him more in the 400-yard range. So, yeah, I'll say under on Foreman.
So they rushed for just over 3,000 as a team last year. And between those two bets, if they were to say hit those numbers, they're at, 1,060. Yeah, so 1,060. Fields rushes for, what did they have him at? 875. That means I don't think they're going to get 3,000 again next year. That was the prop for him, 875, I think. Yeah. I'm interested to see where they go as a team for rushing because those numbers are low.
They're going to run the football a lot.
But they're not having us pass the ball either. So it's like,
so do they have
our
a
offense gonna
Rashawn
fucking
Johnson?
suck? Like, is that what Vegas is trying to say?
No.
But somehow we got higher odds to win the Super Bowl, even though the offense is not suck.
This is very confusing. These Vegas.
Dogs don't understand it. I don't get it.
It's all where the money's coming from, and there's a lot of people that'll take flyers on their team to win the Super Bowl. They'll come to Vegas, have a few cocktails, and get crazy, and say the Houston Texans are winning it all. And
Let's
that's
go.
how the money gets bet. Yeah.
There is no over under for rookie Rashawn Johnson.
No, I couldn't find anything on Rashawn. Like I said, I think we're a little bit early. I'll take another look at the sheets in another week or two to see. But like I said, I think they're waiting to see how it shakes out. Who's starting? Who's not starting? Who's healthy? Who's not healthy? Just they don't want to have a lot of bets that don't happen. Or
so I guess
let me know if you see anything, Chris, because I did check FanDuel too, and I didn't see anything. This was a couple days ago.
My Kari Blazing game prop bet isn't going to come through then. Pissed about that.
Well,
over under 1.5 catches. Is that what his
Exactly.
numbers are?
We finally threw the fullback.
Yeah.
Got me hyped up week 1. How about the kid from UConn? He looks impressive. My guy Burns. But anyway, what's the next?
I missed something earlier. You guys, I think, mentioned him, but I was doing a couple of errands. What's the latest with our guy Dieter Eisland? Do you think he's got more of an opportunity now that we've
I
got
don't
so
think
many
he makes the
injuries
50.
along the line?
I don't think he makes the 53.
I have never understood the Dieter Eisland story here in Chicago. I just give him a game to rep it out at center and see what he has. This would be a great weekend to do second half.
Can he play guard too?
Listen, this is a great point, Brett, and it's like you're in my brain. Shatari Carter can't play center. Doug Kramer can't play guard. Lucas Patrick has shown he can't play guard, but Dieter can play right, center, and left guard. So that kind of value, you should be focusing more as a offensive line coach, and you put that guy in there, and you get certain situations in preseason to see it. And it just doesn't happen. And to Shane's point, it's not like they don't like the guy. And it just seems to be some politics thing, because on tape, it doesn't lie. I like him better than this Jatari Carter stuff. Tomorrow, I mean, Saturday will be very interesting for me to see. And now we got the coaches tape for preseason. I can really look into the offensive line and see if it's political and we drafted this guy, so we want him to work out, or is it, the Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick way of going forward with it? I see the value in Dieter Eisland over some of these guys that are playing. I'll just say that.
Yeah. So if you want to run the room, so Phil, do you think he's going to make it 53? Not if you think he should. Do you think he's going to make it?
I don't think.
I don't either.
On what they're doing with him, I don't think.
I think this is the test, and if it just looks the way it's going, I think he's out. I agree. I think he's cut.
I mean, to
when
me,
is the final
next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday,
and it's going to be. There's going to be
wild.
Over 1,000 players that are free, and that's where it does kind of screw you over having the number one pick a little bit in the waiver process, because it's all going to come at once, whereas before you had a cut down and then you had another cut down, so then you know what I mean, you could kind of space
your one crack at
your priorities out. Now it's like the wild west. It's just going to be boom. There could be 3 or 4 guys
that want it,
that you want,
Wild West,
and it's just going to be crazy. And that's why I think that there's going to be teams out there. I know there's been some NFL teams saying that they think that the third quarterback is going to come into play as you get closer to the playoffs. But I mean, if you're a team that is settled, like if you're Kansas City and you look at Tyson Bagent and you have a great roster and you're like, yeah, we see something in this kid. Mm-hmm. Fuck it. Yeah, we'll take him. Or you don't think that San Francisco, you don't think Kyle Shanahan would look at somebody like Bagent and just say, all right, yeah, Sam Darnold is a question mark. Trey Lance is out of here. We'll take, but you can't keep that in Chicago because of PJ fucking Walker. It's crazy. It's crazy. People are overthinking. It's really not that hard. I don't give a shit if he played at Shepherd. I don't give a shit if he played at a community college. He is showing you things on tape. Keep him here.
Yeah. And there's an interview out there with his college coach talking about, I don't know if you guys talked about it earlier, so I apologize if I'm sounding redundant, but just the makeup of this kid and what he did in college regarding his experience and I
didn't catch him.
What are you saying?
Phil was shoveling his food in his mouth.
Oh, still?
Gotcha. I tried to put him up on screen.
I was dying before when he had a shovel before eating, I don't know, it was a rice and beans. I couldn't tell what he was getting in there, but it looked cold.
Frankenbeans.
Frankenbeans.
I'm starving.
Jack Talk Thai.
I apologize, Brett, for eating in front of you. I know we fed you pretty well in the green room.
Those lobster rolls, man, I tell you,
good flavor going, just butter. That's a good move.
That's Cherie's recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cherie,
Very good.
Home
Very good.
cooking.
Cherie, you like crab legs?
No.
I had some crab legs down in Delaware. Anyway, let me ask you guys a question. Brett, I'm going to bring it back to a prop bet. So there's not much on FanDuel, but something I saw, we were talking about DJ Moore's touchdowns, right? A lot of people think he's going to hit 10 touchdowns this year. They have a bet up right now, DJ Moore to score 10 plus touchdowns, plus 850. So if you guys really like that, I know if you live in Connecticut, I mean, shit, that's a nice little bet for you, you know. $10 will get you a little bit of bread if you want, you know, $100 will get you a lot more, and you know, but yeah. Justin Fields
to go in on that.
I think I might.
Look at you, especially.
I'm excited. It's just, like Brett says, you get excited. It's your team. You see that, and you're like, oh shit.
Jackal goes to the chin. That means it's probably going down.
Or the edibles are kicking in. Justin Fields to throw 30 plus passing yards, plus 750.
To Chris's point, if you're really bullish on a bear, you want to bet the long odds. You don't want to. You don't want to bet short odds. I mean, you don't want $100 tied up for 4 months on a 3-1 or a 5-1 or take a flyer. And to Chris's point, I could easily see DJ Moore, even though I think I expect him to get maybe 7, 8, 9 touchdowns. I could easily see him with 10, 11, 12. So.
I picked the under in the bet before, so I'm sitting here saying, oh, now I'm going to take it at 10. Yeah, that's great. So it's like, yeah, hey, who's the sucker now, right? But no.
Chris also bets every horse in the horse race.
That's an old one. Forgot about that one.
Years old. That's an old one. Justin Fields, 15 plus rushing touchdowns, plus 2,000.
15 plus?
Yeah. 15 or more.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
Yes.
No way.
That ain't happening.
I don't see 15.
No. And then the only other Bears.
Creepers.
Bears to score a touchdown every game in the regular season, plus 185. And the Bears to beat Green Bay, both games during the regular season, plus 250. That's it.
Plus
beat them both?
Yeah.
Here's a few more long odds ones. If you guys want to hear a few more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I love these.
They got Justin Fields for MVP. He's actually, surprisingly, they have modest totals for him, but they have him at the 10th best odds to win the MVP at plus 2,000. Strangely enough, they have the same odds for him to win Offensive Player of the Year. They've got it at plus 2,000, which is 6th best in the NFL. DJ Moore is on there as well. They've got him at plus 1,250 to win Offensive Player of the Year. And both Khalil Herbert and Darnell Mooney to win Offensive Player of the Year. They've got him at plus 20,000. So you win. You put $100 down, you win 20,000. But that's betting right there.
When's the last?
Yeah,
what's the last wide receiver to win Offensive Player of the Year? Would it be Randy Moss?
Cooper Kupp. Last year,
Cooper Kupp.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
He had the trifecta, right? Didn't he have receiving
Right.
yards,
He won the
touchdowns, and
MVP. Yeah.
Triple crown. Yeah.
Not that he won the MVP.
I could be wrong. I'm wondering if he.
Go ahead.
Okay. Only one Bears defensive player has odds currently to win Defensive Player of the Year. Take a shot at who it is.
Edmonds.
One defensive player?
Edmonds.
One defensive player they've got odds for listed for Defensive Player of the Year, but only one.
Eddie
Edmonds,
Jackson.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson won this past season, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Offensive MVP?
Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson.
Jesus Christ.
Cooper Kupp in 2021.
So
Michael
who's
Thomas
the
in 2019? A lot of wide receivers.
So who is the Phil? Who did you say that the defender?
I said it's going to be Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
I said Eddie. I'm thinking picks. I don't feel very confident in that.
Have you heard the name yet?
Lady Bear, do you have a shot?
Micah says Yannick.
I have no
Gordon. I'm going to go Gordon.
Who said Yannick?
Micah Brooks.
Ooh.
And Gakwe.
Micah Brooks gets the prize. He's the only one.
There he is.
The only Bear listed.
Sharissa Blake Bortles.
Shut up.
Mile High said.
Making a comeback right in.
I hate you.
I don't know what Yannicka
Oh,
meant.
actually,
Yeah,
we have Colt Kmet for Offensive Player of the Year. His odds are plus 25,000. I'm serious. He's on the list.
Phil's put money on that.
Say that again, Brett. What was that?
Let me borrow some of his
Colt
signing
Kmet,
bonus.
he's at plus 25,000. Now I picked these up yesterday before he got taken to the locker room in a cart, but plus 25,000.
He stepped on his dick or something.
So, yeah, that's gambling for sure.
There is an update that he walked. That he
Yeah.
walked to the
Is that
cart.
right?
So I don't.
Yeah.
We don't know what
Here,
the
real-
story is on Cole Kmet. Has there been an update? Was there a
looked
post
earlier.
practice response?
No, they're not giving anything out. The only thing that they talked about was, Tevin isn't day to day. It's a week to week. So for them to even say that, it's pretty significant.
And with what bugs me about Tevin, I mean,
Go ahead.
every other player has like injuries where they get hurt on the practice field or they get hurt, and it's even if the coaches are cagey about it, that it was on the up and up. It happened during practice or during a preseason game or whatever. With Tevin, there's always something shady. It's he hurt his back, but we don't know when he hurt his back, or he hurt his calves, both calves, but we don't know exactly how, when it happened. As much as I love Tevin, there's always something. It's just like a
I
cloud.
feel the same way. When Shane told me he was hurt, I'm like, what? Double calves. I've never seen it. Maybe on Tecmo Bowl.
It's like when Carson Wentz sprained both his ankles on the same fucking play a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What the hell is this
Double
guy?
calf injury.
Yeah.
Remember,
What was he
didn't
doing?
Willie Galt blow out both of his knees at the same time? And Billy
That was Wendell Davis.
Wendell
that's what it
Davis?
was.
That was
Yeah.
Wendell came up
Wendell,
twice.
yeah, that's what I
tonight.
meant. Yeah, that's right.
Twice.
Gotta give him a call.
On the old Philadelphia, what was the name of the stadium?
Veterans.
Veteran?
Veterans.
Right.
The fucking vet with that turf.
It blew out Randall Cunningham's knees. I mean, that thing
Or
was
like-
brutal.
That used to be like the McDonald's Playland turf when we were kids.
Oh my God, yeah.
Just a little thin piece of carpet on top of concrete, man. It was-
Slide out of Mayor McCheese and rip all the skin off your friggin' legs.
My friend's head got stuck in that Mayor McCheese fucking climbing thing. Do you remember that thing? They had to call the ambulance, the fire truck.
Those were
The funny
yeah,
thing
those
was, I
fucking
bet him.
playgrounds.
I go, you
Yeah.
can't fit your head through there.
Yeah, there was no Astro. It was like Astro concrete that was just painted green,
God,
dude.
right.
It was,
It was
I
like,
remember those.
the fucking stuff that you put in the Easter basket, that green
The
shit.
grass.
Yeah.
They cut it really
But
small.
it was like razors. It was like fucking razors.
Oh, man.
You would get off that field and touch
If you had
your
like
car and get
metal
a shot.
tips, you're sparking on the field when you're running. It's fucking dangerous.
Oh my God.
No wonder why I
Turf
see
at
The funny thing about that
Astro.
AstroTurf
Yeah.
at the playground, that was like the third or fourth most dangerous thing because you had to also contend with those stainless steel slides.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
Driving
You
it
could hard
on.
to reverse.
You had the ball pits with like shards of glass on the bottom.
Yeah.
Of course,
Oh
the
my
balls
God.
they hadn't
You
changed the
had
balls
that
out in 10
spinner.
years.
What was that thing where you kind of rocked back and forth? It was on a spring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a seesaw, but
There it
you
is.
go.
Seesaw horse thing. Yeah.
This thing got his head.
I'm fucking stuck.
They had to bring a fire truck. I bet him. I had to
Oh,
keep
man.
quiet. The kid kept his mouth shut too. He didn't rat me out.
Oh,
I
God,
can't
that's
remember
It's
who
funny.
amazing
that
we
kid
survived
was.
our childhood.
Oh my God, I know.
Mayor McCheese. The fact that you fucking remember this dude. I remember Grimace, the Hamburglar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hammer.
Ronald. I don't remember the French fry. Fuck, was it French fry guy? Was that his name?
Who was? There was like a bird, like Birdie or something.
I was gonna say I don't remember the girl name. That's all. I just remember
like I think it was Birdie.
Oh, she had circular eyes. Yep.
Oh my God!
How the hell
the
do I remember
80s, man? Cool Kennedy had sent me or shared this 80s McDonald's commercial. Like this black family's getting ready for church and they're going for breakfast in the 80s, and it
Fry Guy.
Oh my God! It was so fucking funny. Yeah.
Oh my God!
There they are.
That creates nightmares.
I don't remember that fucking bird.
The Hamburglar.
Hamburglar.
Burglar.
I remember. I think like everybody had a friend that got their head stuck in Mary McCheese.
Oh my God! It was like a danger zone.
Yeah, you'd go up in there and you'd like try to. There'd be like 6 other kids up in there with you, and you're like, I can't.
Your parents
fucking
left
move.
them there.
Yeah, your parents are inside eating fucking Big Mac,
waiting on CPS to show up.
That was my son at Chuck E. Cheese when they had the one like you go up. It looked like a fucking hamster tube, and they're all up. And he got caught, and he's. Steph's like, you gotta get up there. I go, how the fuck am I going up there? You go up there.
So who went up there?
She went up there.
Ah.
I'm like, he's
I could
fine.
see you
He's just
sprawling up
scared.
in there trying
No, I did go up on another place, but not at Chuck E. Cheese.
No,
at the carnival, those fucking mirror torture chambers for kids.
Oh my
You ever
God, you got
see
me
those?
going. You got me going down this friggin' rabbit hole of McDonald's.
You see little kids going,
just Shane's going crazy right now.
Tell me if this doesn't bring back memories. Let me see if I can put this up here real quick. Jesus Christ!
I love him laughing before
the old McDonald's ashtray.
No.
Remember those things?
my
That's so
God.
crazy.
Okay, I wasn't around for that one.
I was.
Yeah,
I remember
those.
that.
I remember my grandmother
My
smoking.
grandmother would be smoking at McDonald's. Same with mine, Chris.
Dude.
Oh my God.
I guess a lot of people got away with the glass ones because they eventually went to like these tinfoil ones. Remember that
Yeah.
little foil ones? And that was a little bit.
Yeah, the fucking glass one. Some of these dumbasses at the club would pick them up and start hitting people with them.
Glass
Like a
ashtrays.
weapon.
Keepers.
Jeepers creepers.
Oh my God.
There it is.
It looks like that's in Angelo's basement.
I'm Angelo Joe Marino from Wallingford, Connecticut.
He sits on
Pick
the
this up at a
handlebars.
yard sale, guys.
Look at the wear on the handlebars.
You know how many kids got launched into Mary McCheese off of that fucking thing?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting on it.
They call that the stitches maker.
Oh, that's great.
Stitches maker. Did you have one of those spinning ones where the one person on the outside is spinning everybody? Fucking kids are falling off.
Those were great after a Big Mac and a shake and a couple
my
of
God.
fries.
Yeah.
Got on there and spun around. It was awesome.
Spun around.
Or your mother
Special
buys you
sauce was definitely special after that.
Your mother gets you a fucking apple pie and you bite into that bitch and it's like lava, molten lava going.
Oh, the
down.
hot apple pie.
Oh yeah,
burns your fucking roof of your mouth.
Yeah, you can't fucking swallow for 2 weeks.
The hot apple pie.
What happened?
Fucking burger was 90 cents or 80 cents. There it is. There it is. Look at
The key was getting on the inside of those two little handles.
Yeah, you had to get a good grip, man. You can't fuck around. Man.
You're still throwing up, but it was fun. It was good.
I'm surprised lawyers just didn't hang out right outside the McDonald's.
I think they eventually did.
Which is why Playland has changed significantly.
So in 1984, a quarter pounder with cheese was 70 cents. Big Mac,
Holy
65
shit.
cents. Filet of fish, 48 cents. Cheeseburger, 33 cents. Hamburger, 28 cents.
I wonder
Hot
why
apple
my mom
pie,
went there.
26 cents. Hot chocolate, 15 cents.
My mama used to say I ain't got no McDonald's money. That's
Yeah.
that
She
way.
was
Yeah, they're-
straight up lying to you. Same with my dad.
I think that's what we had.
Yeah.
My dad, it's funny when we got a little break, he was here watching the boys. He's like, you can hear him. I'll imitate him a little. Oh, I took the kids to McDonald's. For fuck's sake. Pay $58 for all of them.
$87. There's not even a fucking playground. It is. It's crazy.
It's unbelievable. The McDonald's app is the best thing, though.
You gotta have the McDonald's
The
app.
40-piece nugget meal is a dope. It's a good one. We get that at the house.
There's also like a 30% off coupon through the drive-through. That
A lot of buy one get one free.
Oh yeah.
Coupons.
Once you get those points, they start adding up like fucking Vegas.
I got kids like Bebe's kid. I got so we got all sorts of kids at our house. So I'll take all the points. Bring them my way.
Mo's in the chat. I thought he'd be sleeping off JSN's surgery diagnosis. Mo.
Oh,
McDonald's.
Is JSN hurt?
Yeah, he had surgery on his wrist.
Surgery.
Yeah, got hurt against Dallas.
He's banged up again. Who would have thought?
He fell off the Mayor McCheese ride in Seattle.
What was the spinning McDonald's ride? Did that have a name? What was the bird? Fry guy for real? The little chicken thing?
Oh, I don't. The names.
Oh, I gotta.
I
There
thought
was
it
a
was
McDonald's toy set.
It was Birdie. Yeah.
Birdie.
Birdie. Yeah, I think it was a
fucking original. Cocaine kind of zapped the creativity for the McDonald's ad team, I think.
McDonald's, think about it, man. This dude started off just wanting to sell cheeseburgers.
They shot their wad on
She was Birdie the early bird.
You got that right, Brett.
The early bird special. Early bird. There was nothing like a McDonald's pancake, sausage, egg, and cheese. Oh my god, that butter.
It was an underrated breakfast if you got some flapjacks.
Yeah, and with that sausage patty, they just threw that fucker in. It didn't matter. It was like tucked under.
What was that burger that it was the one side was hot, the one side was cold? Do you remember that?
The McDLT.
The McDLT. Yeah, you had to like fucking flop it over. Cherie's too young.
Yeah.
You never had a McDLT?
Hot and cold?
Yeah, it came in like a white carton and you had to like
Styrofoam.
fold it over.
Big. Yeah.
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 You would fold there was the hot side and a cold side, and you'd fold it over.
It was in that styrofoam white carton.
Killed like 7,000 whales. I mean, it was.
I was gonna say that was before all the green people came out.
Yeah. They're in landfills in our land. We're drinking it now, but it's okay.
You get a burger this size in a box this big.
It's with the science laser starting all the fires.
That's funny.
In 85, I love they gave you the Bears cards. You would go through McDonald's drive-through, and you'd get like 4 Pro Line cards.
Yep.
And they were all Richard Dent, Singletary,
Peyton,
and all of these guys. Walter Payton. You would draw we kept going through to try to get me a Walter Payton. Never happened.
You got diabetes, but it was almost,
My brother worked at McDonald's and would bring home shit. He didn't even get a Walter Payton, for God's sake. Never got my Walter Payton.
Won the Monopoly game, but
wasn't there like a William Perry burger in Chicago? Wasn't there?
Did anyone eat the steak, egg, and cheese from McDonald's? Oh, look at that.
There it is. There's the Dennis McKinnon McDonald's card right there.
Look at that.
I like the steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
At McDonald's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to card that. Good call. Man. I saw it in the little chat.
He's right. That freaking Inspector Gadget toy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember trying to get it. Did you remember they actually did a documentary at the rigged games?
Yeah, the Monopoly game.
The Monopoly.
Oh my God. This one chick said she had Broadway and she lived in East Haven, and I had the other one. What's the other one?
Park Place.
Park Place.
You remember the fucking boat?
Fucking
do you remember like the boat that you used to get?
Yeah.
All that shit. I'm just looking at some of these toys. I'm like, holy shit! I remember like all
when
of
they
these.
did the Barbie and Hot Wheels combo.
Nobody gives a shit about Barbie. Sure.
I give a shit about Barbie. Shame.
My wife said the movie was good. No, it was very good. Not even good.
Barbie, yeah.
Has anyone
Keelan
seen
Riley
it?
talked about watching it, and I was like, you guys can.
I'll
watch
wait
it.
for it to come to stream.
I'll be the guy over in the corner staring at the back of my eyelids. Or maybe I'll go
I didn't
right
know
on
where you were
Mayor
going with
McCheese.
that, Shane. I'm like, all right.
There they are again.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what the Hamburglar looked like?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
like
nice
a
fuel
fucking
for
witch.
kids.
He looks creepy.
He looked like a witch. He did.
Creepy
He was
homeless
sneaking.
person.
I don't remember
With
him
a
looking
dick on
like
his
that.
face?
That has to be like a really old picture.
There's Grimace in the background. He's kind of blue. He turned purple, right, Brett?
Yeah, there he
Grimace
looks sick.
Right there. That's
Yeah,
Oscar the
he
Crouch's
does.
cousin, Shimus.
Yeah, no, the McDLT, you didn't have to make it. It was already made. You
Yeah,
just it was in the
flop it.
packaging.
So what y'all saying
Kept
is
the
the two
cold
sides
side
had
cold
like
and the
the
hot
Yeah, it was the hot
hot
side and
pad.
the cold
Nothing got
side, but it was
and then you
flipped.
had like
Yeah,
lettuce,
you flipped
tomatoes.
it.
You
Yeah.
just
you
flip
just
them
flip it.
That's all
together.
you did.
So what the hell does DLT stand for?
Dumb
Let's
motherfucker. Because I don't think it's so stupid, dude.
Jackal
What is
can't
the
speak.
McDLT?
No, I know it
Look
does.
it
But I
up,
know that
Jackal. Give us a little
DLT is
history.
lettuce and tomato.
Nope.
But I don't know what the D stands for.
Yeah. Well,
Unless
it's
like a
McDonald's or McDonald's.
Lettuce.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, then lettuce and
Let me
tomato,
look it up.
I
You
guess.
got,
So you
Jason
had-
Alexander did the commercial in 1985.
Did he?
Yeah. I've seen it on YouTube.
I was
right
in the
now.
pool.
Yeah, I was in the pool.
I'm just a
Oh,
fan.
okay.
I'm not a football.
We can't play that, right?
What? I was in the pool?
No, the McDonald's
Oh, it's
commercial.
called the McDeluxe.
He had hair back then.
Yeah, the McDLT.
Oh my
McDLT.
god, he had full fucking hair.
Listen, we're getting ready for the weekend. The Bears are going to be playing the Buffalo Bills. We're breaking down some prop bets. Are there any final prop bets, or is that it?
That was
Yeah,
about it for
anything
the
left?
players. I was just looking. If you guys want, we can kind of go through. They've got the props for the players that they're taking odds on for receiving yards, rushing yards, and passing yards. Are there any players you want to know the odds of as far as winning the passing title, rushing title, or receiving title?
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's got to
I
be.
didn't know
I
if
mean,
they had a. Ready?
Justin
Go ahead.
Jefferson's got to be the receiving.
Stephon
fine.
Diggs.
Did they? What's the over under on his receiving yardage? Should they have that for
17.
I mean, there's a lot. There's legit people saying he's going over 2,000.
Yeah.
This
Who,
year.
Justin
you know, I
Jefferson?
didn't.
Yeah.
He's a
You're gonna have
Viking.
Trey
I didn't
Lance
pay
as the
attention.
backup out there.
Yeah. I mean, what did he go last? He almost hit 2K last year, right?
Yeah. He was
I
on.
think,
No, we're very economical, my family.
No, there's no Claudio tonight. He's what is he? He's at
Cheerleading competition.
cheerleading competition.
Taking pictures.
He's picking at a cheerleading competition.
Claudio is one of the holders.
Yes.
No, his daughter is like the flip girl.
That doesn't put me in
for
fucking
the
anxiety.
team. Varsity. What do they call that? The flip girl. I don't know what that is.
Do you want to go through, do an express version of, we don't have to do bear down, but you want to go through bear up real quick? Everybody pick one player. Then
Yeah, let's do it. And then we'll get the shout outs, Brett.
From last
How
week.
does that sound?
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds
If
good.
you're just tuning in, we got our guy Brett Maly, huge friend of the show from Porn Stars. Now I'm gonna laugh every time I say it now.
Yeah, because you do say it with an
The
accent.
art appraiser extraordinaire who actually is looking into the Da Vinci Code right now. You'll have to check out why and go back and watch it. We did some prop bets, your takes, put them in the YouTube channel. What do you think the record of the Chicago Bears is going to be? Put your name to it, you troll boys. Don't tell me 4 weeks at the end of the season. I called it. I knew this was going to happen. No, let's do it now. Put it in there.
Philatosion, Shane Marshall, the Tape Never Lies Network.
A bear up, a bear down.
Bear up.
Bear
Timed
up.
it good. Bear up. Brett,
I know.
Maly.
I fucking hit mine last week. Doris
Yes, you
Fountain.
did.
Everybody's
Did a
like,
good
"What
job.
What the hell?"
Did a good job, Fountain.
Yep.
We will
So-
go live next week before Wait, Tuesday they're gonna make cuts, so we'll have to do a special pop-up show Monday night. And I'm trying to confirm with Chris Zorich if we kick off this Monday, but it's another show. We'll pop up on Tuesday.
He's going to be back. He's going to be heading to Ireland, right?
Yeah, that's probably where he is now. Aren't they playing this weekend?
Yeah, week 0.
Week 0.
Notre Dame versus Navy in Ireland.
I'm determined to go to a Michigan game this year.
Okay.
Just do it, Sheree. We only live once. We've only lived once.
Enough. I have a friend whose nephew plays for Michigan.
So if that friend should be able to get you some tickets.
Working on it.
Well, if you have tickets to Michigan games, let me know. So we can get Sheree in the stadium. I was able to see Michigan versus Northwestern, Sheree. Anyway.
Yeah. Mr. Jackal.
Well, you got to go with our guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go with the guest. You have a guy that's going to stand out. Go ahead.
If you take,
he's the main reason why I said I think Deontay Foreman is going to be an under in the prop bets. I think Roshan looks really good. The more I see him, he's a hard runner. He takes what's there. I love that. Even if it's 3 yards, he earns it. There were a couple of, he didn't, to me, when I watched the game, he didn't stand out, but then I watched some replays and there were plays that I think stopped in the backfield and he was able to lunge forward for 4 or 5, 6 yards. He's going to be an integral part of the offense. And I think he's going to be the guy that pushes Khalil Herbert more than Foreman. Although I think Herbert's going to have a great season too.
So Roshan Johnson, did he steal your guy, Jackal?
No.
Yeah.
So mine.
I could tell. That was an obvious one, though. I like that. That was a good choice because, eye test was beautiful. I agree with you, Brett. That was a good call.
I was going first.
No, that was a great one. I was. Sheree?
Ladies,
or do you need a minute?
We're doing it all. Okay.
Give me some fucking names. Give this kid.
Or do you need a second because Brett took yours?
You can pass the Jackal if you'd like.
I'm a pass.
So all right. Well, I'll take a little pressure off you. I'm gonna go with Cairo Santo hitting a 50-yarder during a preseason.
He's going bear up Santo.
The reason being is I just want to see. That is such a great. If you guys only knew where that whole thing is just beautiful. That's awesome.
Oh, so
we want our kicker to be tested. Hitting a 50-yarder in preseason is just nice to see. It's a preseason game. We rested every fucking starter. So it was, I just like seeing that out of the guy. Pressure kick, he made it. It was a close game at that point. So I'm just taking an easy little chip shot here and going with Cairo Santo. I'm trying to help Sheree. I had Roshan Johnson also.
You're going. Shane's playing who's going to stand out this week.
Oh, wait. I thought we were talking about Bear Up from last week.
No, he's going.
Oh, that's what I thought too.
This upcoming week.
All right. Well,
yeah,
we're playing it opposite in the preseason.
Yeah, we're playing the futures.
So
do you want to change
show out? Brett, do you want to go again, or do you want to say Roshan is your guy?
Brett's safe there. I think Brett's safe with Roshan.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'll stay with Roshan. I don't want to switch horses.
Yeah. Jackal, do you want to change your shitty pick?
Yeah, I do. Damn it.
Brett did laugh. I thought Brett kept
that was a horrible pick. No.
Get in somebody's ass today.
God damn it. I don't know who's playing. With all these injuries, it's hard.
Tough.
I'm hoping Tyler Scott can catch some passes, not have some drops, and just kind of show that was kind of just a thing he's working through. I'd like to see him kind of step up and do something this Saturday.
There you go. Tyler Scott is a guy that Jackal's telling you to keep your eye on this week. That's going to be his guy to watch.
Here we
his
could do.
pair up. You guys in the chat, put who you think is going to stand out. Daniel Bouchel saying, Shane, I like Fountain too.
Yep. Should have said that last
Cherie.
week.
You have anybody, Cherie?
I am going to go with Tyreek Stevenson.
He's going to catch that ball this time?
Yeah, he's dropped 2 picks.
You got a haircut.
He got to redeem himself.
Oh, his hair was in his eyes. That's why he didn't catch it. He couldn't see it. All right, makes more sense now.
No, he got a haircut. He got a haircut before the game.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's like
That was that drop. It's not really a drop. I mean, he just should have caught it, but it made it even worse.
Yeah.
It ended up being a touchdown. But that play went back to Adrian Colbert. I sent Phil the clip, and it all started with him being lost, and now he's on IR. So yeah, he was toast from jump on that play.
I fucked my mom.
I hope he redeems himself. I mean, I'd still, right now, I have a better feeling about him than Bayless. So,
okay,
there you go. Cherie, is that your
Tyreek Stevenson?
Tyreek Stevenson, that's your final.
Redeem himself. Yep.
There you go. Shane, you got anybody?
Mine's easy. I'm staying with QB2. He's agent. Yep. I think he's gonna get an opportunity and he's gonna go out there. Like I said, you can't tell with young players. A lot of times, a little bit of confidence can spur you a long ways, and you hear it in this kid's voice. Not only is he confident, he's just, when you know what you're supposed to be doing, when you're not questioning yourself, when you don't need a water bottle to be your security blanket, you can go out there and play some good football. And I believe in the kid, and I think he's going to go out there and make some big time throws. And now if he throws a pick, I'm sure I'll get 400 DMs saying, "You smartest man, my fucking ass, you idiot." But that's fine. I believe in the kid, and I think he's going to make the 53, and I think he's going to make some plays on Saturday.
Yes.
I love it. I would have picked him myself to go on the record, but since you picked him, which is a great pick, and I'm excited. Who's not excited to see a little bit more of him and QB1? That's really gotta be exciting. I know it is for me. That I'm looking forward to that this weekend, and jumping on live on BHL right after Bills versus Bears this week. That game, you'll have to have NFL Plus to watch the Bears if you're not in Chicago.
Or stream it illegally.
Somehow, illegally. Jack can give you a
streaming.
I'm going to go with a guy that's been very, very impressive. And nobody really talks enough about, but on tape, he has played really good football. And that is rookie defensive tackle Zach Pickens.
Zach with 2 C's.
Zach with 2 C's. Pickens out of South Carolina. This freaking football player is what I thought he'd be. And I'm excited to continue to see his ability to not only play the run and do some of the things that I see that he's doing, but also his ability inside for a young rookie to rush the passer from the interior. He has some good, he's got a good toolbox of inside move, whether it be rip or speed to power, ripping through. And then I just like the swim technique that he put on. He's been really, really good. So obviously a lot of talk about Dexter and what have you, but Pickens has gotten a hell of a lot more get off, and I'm very excited about what he brings to the table for the Chicago Bears. So he's going to be my guy I'm watching for this Bears versus Bills this weekend. There it is. Bear up, bear down, bear up for this weekend. Once the season starts, we'll start our regular schedule.
Real quick, let me ask you guys. Got a little bit of trivia.
Yes.
Who is the youngest player on the Chicago Bears roster right now?
Ooh.
Oh.
Any guesses?
Edmonds.
No.
Tremaine Edmonds. No.
Tyler Scott.
I'm gonna say
Scott's very close, but it's not him.
Good question, Shane.
Noah Sewell.
Who'd you say, Phil?
Noah Sewell.
Cherie?
No.
I have no one. I don't know. I don't be keeping up with how these guys are.
No, Noah Sewell is the.
I'm
youngest.
right.
Yeah, so the top three youngest players on the team. Number 1, Noah Sewell. Number 2, Tyler Scott. Any idea who number 3 is?
Tyson Bagent.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Stevenson.
Jervon Dexter.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Yep. All three of those guys are still just 21 years old.
Wow.
Sewell just turned 21 the very end of April.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Wow.
Something very Maly really fucked up by saying Edmonds, who's been in the league for 6 years, but we won't pick on him.
You said he got paid at 24 or whatever.
When he came into the league, he was like 18. So
yeah.
anyway,
Brett's like, fuck it, we're just going to bypass the rookies. So. 6-year veteran Tremaine Edmonds.
Listen.
So
Travis Hill has been looking good.
How about Peterman? Peterman.
Yeah, Peterman.
Who is the oldest player on the team?
I know who it is immediately.
Yeah,
you should know. Come on, it's pretty easy.
A blank in my head
when I tell you who it is.
It's the long snap, not the holder.
No.
Not him.
He's named after a car.
Ford? Isaiah Ford?
No, I said an expensive car.
That's a good.
You said car.
Mercedes.
Mercedes Lewis. How can I forget about
72? That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Good memory, Shane.
39 years old.
Looking at the screen.
Mercedes Lewis.
So yeah, Mercedes Lewis 39, Patrick Scales 35, Cody Whitehair 31.
That's how
Cairo 31, Patrick 30. I have no idea that Aviante Collins I thought was an undrafted free agent. For some reason, he's 30 years old.
Jesus Christ.
I was totally
pretty
lost.
good.
Mercedes Lewis. Mercedes Lewis isn't called Mercedes Lewis anymore. He's called Old Jalopy Lewis.
Yes, exactly. I like Cherie. Isaiah Ford?
You said car. Shit.
I know.
Blake Bortles? I'm kidding.
I'm so glad that no one knows that joke.
All right, one more bit of trivia. Who is the
go ahead.
heaviest player on the Chicago Bears roster?
Oh, the
heaviest.
The big boy, Nate Jones.
It is not Tremaine Edmonds, Brett. I'll give you a hint.
All right, Nate Davis.
There you go.
Davis. How about that?
Nope, it's not Nate Davis.
I gotta think it's the big man.
There's somebody that weighs 19 pounds more than Nate Davis.
Billings.
I gotta think it's Darnell Wright.
No.
Phil's saying Darnell Wright. Who did you say, Jackal?
Billings.
No, how can I not go Billings or no Bravion Roy? Right? He looked like he was a giant whopper.
Bravion Roy is listed at 330 pounds. And he is not the highest. Yes.
Holy shit. I thought he would be.
They have Roy. Andrew Billings listed at 311.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I agree.
Cheating. I'm going with Phil.
So
Bravion Roy, right? He looked.
there's a
Right.
there's a 2-pound difference between the top two guys. Larry Borum comes in at 333 pounds.
Jeepers.
In this corner,
he looks like he's under 333 to me right now. But number one, heaviest guy on the roster at 6'6", 335 pounds, out of the University of Tennessee, offensive tackle Darnell Wright.
Damn, I was right to begin
6'6", 335. That's
he
like
doesn't look 330.
It's like the same size as Bryce Young, essentially.
Two of them.
There's no Bravion Roy on a scale is gotta weigh more. Did you see the size of this dude?
Oh yeah,
the Daniel
well, it's like
Cormier
Billings.
thing with the
There's
towel,
no way
like
Andrew
holding
Billings
up
is
on the
311.
Bravion's Roy's shoulder pad goes in and his stomach goes over.
Yeah, you're right.
How big he is. I'm like, this dude is a big man. We'll see. Anyway, it's that time. Wrap it up. We had the McDonald's talk, the prop bets, the second string quarterback debate. Quarterback on the mind as we head into this last preseason game, the scrimmage to set the tone for the season. We'll be live covering on Bears Hour.
Shout out Tape Never Lies. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay Spencer strong, fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam. Like
the network that keeps it real, 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some this policy, the show is at its end. But for me it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth, no narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Audio Jane getting nervous cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say to get the shot of vital. But hurry up cause the postman's getting homicidal.
Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
I know I will.
There we are, back. Delivering the mail. Shout outs. Jackal.
Hello.
Is back.
Hi.
Cherie is back. I don't know what's happening there. There.
Hey.
Green is back. Hate how it makes me close and come out when you try to fix it. Anyway, Cherie, since you're the lady of the house, do you have any shout out?
Not really. Just shout out to you guys, and what you do. Thank you for providing fun content every week on Wednesday. And, the time that you all give. I know we all got stuff going on, but this is a nice break from everything. So I just appreciate having you guys as friends that I can call on and talk to, and enjoying talking football with you, because I don't have a lot of friends that talk Bears football. So just love you guys. Thank you for what you do, and this shout out is just for y'all.
Thank you. Jackal deserves that.
in the basement at my parents' house on the Cape. It must have been 97 degrees up there, and it was the worst. And I was
Didn't
sweating my
they
ass.
sell that house too?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, because he was making crystal meth in the basement.
No meth, but Jesus.
Hey, we need.
Spent a lot of summers up there in college. It was a good time. It was an ice cream man. It was a lot of fun.
We could have had the TTNL party on the Cape.
Oh,
Jackals.
Jeepers creepers.
Oh, Mr. Maly, thank you so much for your time tonight. Jumping on the show with us.
Of course.
Do you have any shout-outs?
Of course. Cherie actually stole my shout out just like I stole her bear down. I wanted to just say thanks to you guys. This has been a lot of fun. You guys are awesome. I know not to do too much of an aside, but I know we've all had to deal with some issues family wise and health wise and things like that. But you guys are always, as Cherie said, just kind of a bastion of fun and just something you can turn to when times are a little tough. Which, as Phil had said earlier, that's how I discovered you guys first and foremost, 6-7 years ago. So thanks for having me on. I really enjoy all your friendship, and I appreciate you having me as part of the TTNL family. And this is always a highlight of the season for me.
You're
Love
the
it.
best, Brett. I
Awesome.
love you, man.
Absolutely.
Brett, the writer, too, was so.
Love
and
you
this
guys.
was before I knew Brett. That's how I first met him. I'm like, who the fuck wrote this? This is amazing.
Yeah.
I
remember like back when he was first around, I'm like, this guy just started following me on Twitter. It says he's on fucking Pawn Stars. And I'm like, I love that show. So I'm like looking around. And I'm like, holy shit, it's the Art Appraiser. I remember that. Yeah, it was great.
And
you have a huge fan in Prague, by the way, Brett. Hila and the kids are over visiting their mom and dad, and Hila's father is
right?
He absolutely loves Pawn Stars, so he always gets a kick out of when we have you on the show, and he always wants me to send my love to you because he loves watching all you guys on Pawn Stars over in Prague. So you got a fan all the way overseas.
I think we've talked about that. I'm of Czech descent. On my dad's side, we actually settled in a kind of a Czechoslovakia called Yukon, which they still have a Czech Hall. They have all sorts of kolache bars, and, all sorts of stuff. So please tell them hello. And at some point, I might go to Prague. I'd love to kind of get more in touch with my heritage, and I'll buy him. I'll buy him a good draft beer.
Oh, he won't turn that down.
Well, thanks, guys. No, us Czechs, we like our beer for sure.
Oh yeah, there's a pub on the end of every street over there. It seems like so.
Well, Brett, you're the best, and
Absolutely.
we appreciate you as a friend as well as an informed Bears fan, and thank you for all the kind words and support that you give. That not only this network, but Shane and I personally, you've become more like a family member, just like we say here. It's not just words, it's actions. And that's usually what speak the loudest. So thank you for coming on tonight. Shane?
Well, one of these days we're going to get you out to Las Vegas. We're going to have
we got to, man.
Love to.
Yeah. We got to get Shane just out of the house. Then we could.
Well, guys,
no problem, Brett. We know you got to go, Brett.
Look at Phil eating the noodles. Made me hungry. So.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I hear you.
All right. Yeah, love you, brother.
Well,
take care, Brett.
Go Bears.
Good luck with the Da Vinci Project.
Great time with you guys, and love you two guys. All right.
Oh, he froze.
Perfect. Frozen moment. There he goes.
See you, Brett.
Thanks, Brett.
Your hand's good.
Big Brett Maly.
Yeah.
Hey, it lasted the whole show. It didn't go out, Shane.
Yeah, he's still frozen. He's still got his hand down there, but yeah, kind of I don't know. It's a kind of a sad shout out. You guys know my family's over in Europe visiting family, and unfortunately we got some bad news that Hila's cousin, who battled some mental health issues, unfortunately lost her battle, ended up taking her own life while he was over there. So it's been a kind of dealing with that kind of behind the scenes, and when you're not there with your kids or with your family under the circumstances, it's always tough. But I always think it's very, very important, no matter the situation. And you guys all know this here. Jackal, you talk about it, just picking up the phone or texting a friend or just checking in with somebody to see how they're doing. That can always make an impact. And maybe that person who feels like in their life that they're at the end of their rope, maybe a text message or a word of inspiration or letting somebody know that they do matter to you, maybe that can help them continue on and fight. But unfortunately she lost her battle with that, and it's like I said, tough. Nothing that you ever want your kids to experience or be around or even have to deal with. But it's life. There's not a family around that doesn't have to deal with tragedy like that, and it was our turn now, and we face it and deal with it and send our thoughts and positive energy towards the family as they're entering their grieving process. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. Sad way to end the show, but I think very important to talk about, because no matter how dark the days are, the sun still comes up tomorrow, and the days can be brighter. And just if you haven't talked to somebody in your family for a while or a friend, just reach out and let them know that they matter to you, and that can make all the difference in the world.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Sorry, Shane.
So that's tough.
Appreciate it.
Man. Obviously, I'm just finding out now, but that's tough. My condolences to you and Hila and her family and everybody, your son, obviously your daughter, everyone that's going through it. I would have to shout them out.
Yeah.
Send the positive energy towards Shane's family across over in the Czech Republic. That's tough. I don't even know how to go
just
forward.
And Shane, just to echo your sentiment, if you are worried about somebody too, though, don't be afraid to say something.
Yep. Totally agree.
Sometimes it takes having that courageous conversation with somebody where you just may think it's not your place, but at the same time, just letting somebody know you are worried, may be the catalyst for them to actually look in the mirror themselves and understand that there's something going on. But also, if you're thinking about somebody or just, in general, reach out and say hi to somebody. If I haven't talked to them in a while, say hello. You're right, Shane. I'm so sorry you're dealing with your family, or Hila's family's going through that, and your family as well. So my condolences to the Marsaws and the rest of Hila and her family.
Appreciate it.
Well, my shout out is to Brett Maly for jumping on the show and having a great conversation, and to Shane putting aside that and coming on the show. Shows what kind of character he has and what this network means to him and to all of you fans that come in and talk about the Chicago Bears. One shout out to John Taylor, who's in the chat. He's staying up late night.
Not our future running back, but yeah.
Our future running back. But he's over in the UK. John, Jon. Shane. John.
Nice.
John Taylor.
Said,
shout out
that,
to you.
Fuck that H.
Fuck that H. H is for hose.
Boats and
hose. Oh.
Shout out to him. Shout out to all of you fans checking in with us, and a special shout out to the 5 dads that I got off the sideline. Shane put them all in holding bags so we could run through our plays tonight.
There you go. Get some volunteers. Way to go, coach.
Grabbed them all. I'm like, let's go. Let's get these dads. Yep. Let's get them out there. They had a blast.
Love it.
Really helped the young offensive line gel, trying to get them to gel. So shout out to those guys. We will see you back here Saturday, Bears Hour Live. Maybe pop up. Become a patron. The tape never lies. You see it at the bottom of the screen. You could scan that whatever. What is this thing called?
A QR code.
QR code. Thank you. Scan it with your phone. Whether you got a Galaxy or an iPhone, whatever the fuck you might have that Google phone. Scan it, follow TTNL. Let other people know. We'll see you guys next week. Back here, we got Courtney Cronin next Wednesday night. Going to talk about all of the Bears' cuts and moves as they prepare themselves for the Green Bay Packers. We'll see you guys next time here on the best Bears show on the planet. The tape never lies, keeping it 100.
What's up, everybody? This is NFL Network's Adam Ray.
This is Olin Kreutz.
This is Matt Waldman.
This is Chris Zork from your Chicago Bears.
I'm Deion Miller.
Dan Weaver.
Hey, my name is Rashad Whitfield.
I'm Courtney Cronin.
Hey, this is David Kaplan. Listen to me. You want to learn football? Listen to my guys, Phil and Shane.
Shane and Phil. Shane and Phil. Oh, Phil.
On the Tape Never Lies Network.
On the Tape Never Lies Network.
Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Tape Never Lies Network. Home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.